From Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, it's game 28 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season as the Anglers and Kettleers are set to do battle for the fourth time in this 2024 campaign. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the Kettleers Radio Network. I'm Joe Pratt, joined alongside by always as my broadcast partner, Alex Rocco. Adele Huffman will be joining us in a few moments, but Alex, this is the fourth and final meeting between these two teams. Already played a couple of great contests so far this season. What excites you about the season finale?
We've seen a lot of close contests between these two squads in the last game. Just a couple of days ago, Cotuit coming away with another comeback victory, taking down the Anglers 8-5. And if you can remember in that game, Cotuit was trailing 5-3 after 5 innings, but it was 5 unanswered runs, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 3 in the 8th as they picked up the 8-5 win in 8 innings. And it was just a performance where the offense and the bats really started off slow, but as the game rolled on, they continued to hit. Tanner Thatch, he went 3 for 4, but also the last time we were here at Veterans Field, it was once again another close game with Chatham coming away with the victory. So these are two evenly matched teams and certainly should be in store for another good one.
And the Kettleers getting their 18th win of the season just a night ago, improving to 18-9-1 with that 6-1 win over Wareham. Just what did you like from yesterday's game?
Well, it was excellent pitching from the Kettleers, and Taylor C. in his Cotuit debut, he went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, just 1 earned run, struck out 2, and you gave the ball to Mikey Ebner, and you knew it was lights out. After that, Ebner continuing to do what he's done all season long. He went 4 innings, allowed just 1 walk, and struck out 2, and picked up his first save of the season. And how many times you can really see a guy go 4 innings to pick up a save, but Ebner doing his job in relief of Taylor C. and gave the bats enough insurance as they did come alive. They had 10 hits. Sharon Advincula, of course, had 3 RBIs. Easton Winfield continuing to dominate at the top of this lineup, but it was just another performance that you saw 1 through 9 get to it, consistently putting good at-bats together.
And tonight they'll throw the right-hander Joey Volchko on the mound out of Stanford. Just finished up his freshman year there. But what are you looking for from him and getting a good start today at Veterans Field?
Well, I think the key for Joey Volchko is continue to do what he's done well so far this year, and that has been strikeout hitters. This is his 4th appearance, 3rd start, and in 9 1/3 innings pitched, he struck out 15 guys, really has limited the runs that he's given up. Walks have come back to bite him just a bit as he's given up 8 walks in those 9 1/3. But when Volchko's on, he has command of that 98-mile-an-hour fastball, really pretty changeup and off-speed pitches to work off of that fastball, but really his bread and butter is getting ahead with the heater.
Yeah, Kettleers pitching has done a great job in the past couple games of getting ahead of batters, and really when they've worked themselves into situations, it's been by way of the walk, but also throwing strikes is something that they did incredibly well last night with Taylor C. on the bump. He was asked after the game by Shane Patagna, one of the writers for the Kettleers, what his approach was out there, and if he was maybe a little bit uncertain after giving up a solo home run. He said he wanted to go out there and just throw his pitches, pound the zone, and if they were able to hit it, they were able to hit it. And I think that is a similar mindset that Joey Volchko has brought into this season, but finding the box has been a bit easier for him, or a bit less easy for him to come by so far this summer. But the Kettleers with a 6-1 win last night. The offense was clicking 1 through 9, Alex. What's going to be a massive key in this offense for the Kettleers to pick up win number 19?
Well, I think the key for Cotuit to pick up win number 19 is starting early, and that's something that's been a struggle for the Kettleers over the last few games. And how many times have we talked about it where they struggle to really hit in the first 3 innings and pull off a late game comeback? We've seen this over this last few stretch. Of course, the 3 home games, 2 comeback victories during that 3-game stretch. But for the Kettleers, they need to jump on early against Chatham starter Ryan Jenkins, who's making his 2nd start this year. But for Cotuit, it's scoring runs in the first 3 innings and really working good at-bats against the starter Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins will be out there for the Anglers, getting another start here for them in this young summer, and he will be heading to St. Mary's this upcoming season after playing his freshman year at Riverside City College. But how do the Kettleers line up against him today, 1 through 9?
Leading off is Tanner Thatch, who remains in the leadoff spot for Mike Roberts. Batting second is the right fielder, Easton Winfield. Brandon Compton bats third, getting the start in left field. Devin Taylor, the designated hitter, he will bat cleanup. Getting the start behind the dish and batting fifth is Matt Klein. Batting sixth in center field is Max Ballou. So 6 consecutive lefties to begin Mike Roberts' lineup against the righty Ryan Jenkins. Batting seventh and playing at shortstop is Tyler Cerny. Batting eighth and at second base is Jaron Advincula. And rounding out the Kettleers order is the third baseman, Timo Becerra.
So the Anglers have taken to the field. The entire Kettleers bullpen is walking down that right field line. Chatham entering in this ball game. They're the second team in the Eastern Division, 15-3-0. A couple games back of the Armith Dennis Red Sox, who sit at 17-9-2. Cotuit recently becoming the best team in the West, taking that 18th win of the season last night, taking down the Wareham Gatemen and taking over the #1 spot in the Western Division. They're the only CCBL team now with 18 wins, improving to 18-9-1 just an evening ago. And the Kettleers with a 9-4 away record. Chatham fashioning a 9-4 home record and have won 8 of their last 10 games right here at Veterans Field. So we're just about a few minutes away from first pitch at Veterans Field. Chatham getting their final warm-up throws and pitches for the man on the mound in Ryan Jenkins. As mentioned, just finished up his freshman year at Riverside City College, where he threw 61 innings pitched there, made 8 starts, 7 relief appearances, and struck out 51 guys in that span with an ERA just above 2.5. Of course, going up against a guy in Joey Volchko, who has already made a couple of starts for the Kettleers this season and has pitched just over 9 innings and currently has a 1.93 ERA, which would be the best on the team amongst current active players, but not enough innings to qualify just yet. But surely after a couple innings and a start tonight, he should be able to qualify for that spot. So Chatham wearing their all white home uniforms with the blue Anglers in all capital letters etched across the front of that jersey with a red number, much similarly to the Los Angeles Dodgers. With all white pants, the royal blue caps with the Anglers logo, the bright red A, plastered across the front of it. Cotuit wearing their normal road maroon jerseys with the navy Cotuit lettering across the chest. Ryan Jenkins pitching from the stretch will come set. Takes a deep breath, and his first pitch is down beneath the bat of Tanner Thatch, who waves through that breaking ball and is now down in the count, 0-1. First pitch being released at 6:59 local time. Some clouds above the trees in left field. Other than that, completely clear skies overhead at Veterans Field. Just a perfect night for baseball. Plenty of fans still filing their way into this stadium as Tanner Thatch takes another breaking ball. This time it's too far outside, and he evens up the count at 1-1. So Tanner Thatch, after last night, a day where he struggled, and we haven't been able to say that in a long time about Tanner Thatch. Went 0 for 4 last night, but was able to reach on a hit by pitch in his last at bat. As the 1-1 is low and outside and called ball 2. 2-1 the count to Tanner Thatch, going 0 for 4 last night against Wareham. That was the Friday night contest where the Kettleers were able to get the win, but the man at the top of the lineup remained unproductive as the next pitch is cut on and missed. So Tanner Thatch goes back to 2-2. Ryan Jenkins looking for that finishing pitch on him. But Thatch bringing his 8-game hitting streak to an end last night, but still hitting 15 of his last 34 at the plate, a .441 clip in his last 8 games. Thatch awaits this 2-2 pitch. He gets underneath this one, flips it to the left side of the infield. Third baseman going back, and just behind the bag, Chatham Kraus will bring down the first out.
The right fielder.
Thatch just got well underneath that last pitch from Ryan Jenkins, skying it just on the edge of the outfield grass as the third baseman makes the grab for the first out.
Chatham Kraus getting his second straight start against the Kettleers, was able to hit his first CCBL hit of this summer against Cotuit the last time they played just 2 days ago on Thursday night at Lowell Park. So the new batter will be Easton Winfield, coming off of a phenomenal game just a night ago. Easton Winfield batting in the second spot once again today. His first pitch he sees from Jenkins is a curveball up and away, 1-0. Also on the infield, Iva Arquette didn't get the start on Thursday, but back in against the Kettleers, playing at shortstop today. His middle infield mate, Kyle Lodis, at second. Robin Villeneuve plays at first. Next pitch from Jenkins is low and outside on the fastball, and it's a 2-0 count. Throwing to Winfield for the first time as the outfielders from left to right. Will Bermudez, Ty Johnson, Ashton Larson plays in right field. So some shadows casting their way across behind second base. The entire infield is in the sunshine as that one's blasted. Deep right field off the bat of Winfield. Going back on it is Larson, and he will watch that one bounce over the hill and right, and it's a home run for Easton Winfield. A solo shot, his first of the summer. That one clearing the small hill and right towards the fire station, and the Kettleers take a 1-0 lead.
Easton Winfield just continues to rake for the Kettleers. Blasted his third double just one day ago and cracks his first home run, as we've really seen the extra base hit power come alive for Winfield, and just hopped on a pitch right there from Ryan Jenkins that was left over the heart of the plate, and Winfield made absolutely no mistake.
That one just kept on carrying, and more than enough to clear the short right field fence out there. It's only 3-14 to the right field corner of Veterans Field as the first pitch to Brandon Compton misses high and outside. But of course, there is a fire station in right center field, plenty of cars lining the sidewalk there above the small grassy hill that lines this outfield from the center field flagpole all the way to the right field corner and beyond, as the next pitch to Compton is fouled straight back, and it's 1-1. But Easton Winfield, where a bunch of fans are sitting in their lawn chairs at the top of that hill, he blasted it right up there. So towards the fire station, just giving you a bit more perspective of how hard that ball was hit. 101 miles an hour off the bat. It traveled 429 feet. Brandon Compton takes a big cut at the next fastball he sees and goes back to 1-2. So it's the first homer of the young summer for Easton Winfield. This is his 6th game played, riding a now 5-game hitting streak. Has been able to reach in all 5 of his games played, but was not able to knock a home run in those first 5. Put an end to that today as Compton unloads on this one deep down the right field line, headed towards the corner, but that one will twist into foul territory. So nearly back-to-back bombs for the Kettleers in this first inning. Compton looking for that first blast since the 4th of July. 3 homers so far on the summer for Brandon Compton, who's facing Ryan Jenkins for the first time, and the righty has the glove in front of his face. Now he comes set. His 1-2 pitch upcoming. Compton takes upstairs, sends this count to 2-2. So Ryan Jenkins into the game has already made 1 start for the Anglers. 4 innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, gave up 3 runs, only 2 of them were earned. Walked 3, struck out 2. Now the 2-2 to Compton. Launched into straightaway center field. Ty Johnson stepped in for a moment and then ranged back into the left center field alleyway to pull down that line drive out for out number 2.
Compton hit that ball well off the bat, and just like you mentioned, Joe, Ty Johnson running in on that play quickly had to backtrack and made the running grab for allowed out number 2.
So now it'll be Devin Taylor. Got the start in last night's game, but went 0 for 4 as the DH. Also the DH in tonight's game as he takes a fastball over the outer edge, but called a ball 1. Devin Taylor going 0 for 4 last night, which snapped a 6-game hitting streak for the left-handed swinger out of Indiana. 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball that enters in on the back door and is called a strike 1. Devin Taylor playing in his 18th game of the summer so far, fashioning a 296 clip. 1-1 pitch. Taylor checks his swing. Little nubbler straight over the mound. It goes off the glove of Jenkins. Third baseman Kraus is in to get it. His throw goes up the line towards the camera well, and Devin Taylor will be headed to second base on that mishap on the infield. Unsure if Jenkins was able to get a piece, Alex, but still, the Kettleers will take a base runner in any way they can get it.
That was a tough play for the Anglers infield there. Looked like he did deflect off the glove of Ryan Jenkins. Chayton Kraus coming in from third base tried to make the throw quickly and just rushed it too far, threw it well up the line and into the Kettleers dugout. Is just another fielding mistake, and this is something that we've seen from the Kettleers is when their opponents have made mistakes in the field, they've usually capitalized.
And they'll have to rely on some 2-out hitting. Kettleers driving home 4 RBIs last night with 2 outs in the frame. A mark that you definitely like to see against a team that was in the top of the West Division, now second place Wareham. Ryan Jenkins is now facing Matt Klein. Gets his second straight start behind the dish as he goes after a curveball on the first pitch and swings right over the top of it, and Jenkins takes an 0-1 advantage. So Devin Taylor reaching there on a single, they'll rule it. on a ground ball to Chayton Krause at third, but it was deflected by the pitcher. And they'll say it was a throwing error by Chayton Krause, who was backing up his right-hander as the next pitch is low and outside, and a 1-1 count to Matt Klein. So Devin Taylor, after going 0 for 4 last night, wastes no time to get his first hit today, going after the second pitch he sees, and even though it was about a 50% swing, is still able to make a base hit out of it. Matt Klein from the left side. He awaits another breaking ball that's dotted on the low and outside portion for a called strike 2. So Matt Klein goes back to 1-2 in the count as more shadows cast their way towards home plate. Shortstop, second baseman, third baseman, all in the shadows thanks to those tall trees hanging above left field. Ryan Jenkins takes a look at second, now deals home, and it misses in the righty batter's box to Klein, and it's 2-2. Matt Klein playing in his 19th game this summer for the Kettleers. Jenkins takes a look back at second, and now this ball is launched off the bat of Klein, but straight into the glove of Iva Arquette, who is playing in perfect position at shortstop to field the third out of this top of the first inning. So the Anglers are able to get out of it, but not before they allow the first home run of the summer off the bat of Easton Winfield, who makes it a 1-0 ball game. Send it to the home half of the first. You're listening to Cotuit Baseball here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an
So we welcome you back in for the bottom of the first inning from Veterans Field. And Alex, it'll be the second and final time we are here this summer, barring a championship matchup between these two teams. But taking a look at how these Anglers line up, how will they face the righty Joey Volchko?
Well, leading things off is the left fielder Will Bermudez. Batting second and playing in right field is Ashton Larson. Hitting third and the designated hitter is Ike Irish. Batting fourth and getting the start at the hot corner is Chayton Krause. Batting fifth and playing shortstop is Iva Arquette. Batting sixth is Robin Villeneuve. Hitting seventh is Kyle O'Deese. Batting eighth and catching is Campbell Smithwick. And rounding out the Chatham order is the center fielder Ty Johnson.
Yeah, so they shuffle up the lineup a little bit from 2 nights ago. As Will Bermudez digs in from the left side, he takes a big cut at the first breaking ball that he sees from Joey Volchko. Falls behind in the count 0-1. Volchko going low and inside there. As Bermudez is making his second straight start against the Kettleers. Joey Volchko goes into his windup. A high leg kick he deals home. A hard fastball that misses in the same spot, but a bit more inside. And Bermudez sends this count to 1-1. Bermudez, this is third game played of the summer as that one skips into Matt Klein. It bounces over his head, goes back to the backstop. And the count is now 2-1 to Will Bermudez. Joey Volchko making his third start for the Kettleers this summer. Brings that all black glove in front of his face, now takes a long pause from the stretch and throws a pitch that's up and away. Bounces off the glove of Matt Klein, goes back to the backstop once more, and now it's a 3-1 count here to Will Bermudez. And Alex, this is something that Volchko was struggling with his last couple times out, not being able to find the box, especially early in counts, as he will nod up and down one time, go into his windup once more, and his 3-1 is down the heart of the plate, called a strike 2.
Five walks over his last two starts for Volchko and threw 4 innings in his last start against Bourne.
Fly ball, right center field. Going back, Max Ballou headed towards the warning track, and he will make the grab for the first out of this bottom of the first inning. Will Bermudez works the count full, but ends up being the first out.
A nice job by Volchko to battle back in that count. Fell behind Bermudez 3-1, and Bermudez looked at a pitch right over the heart of the plate and then got a pitch that he could drive. Really did not miss it. Crushed it all the way back, nearly to the warning track, but Max Ballou ranging over and making the grab.
The new batter, Ashton Larson, another lefty, bounces that one on the ground just past Timo Becerra at third base and in foul territory. Larson starting his 20th game of the season today. 21 hits at the plate and 70 at-bats. That is a perfect 300 batting average for him. The next pitch he sees from Joey Volchko is on the way, and it's a fastball beneath his knees to elevate this count to 1-1. So Ashton Larson enters into this ball game coming off of his freshman season at Louisiana State, playing in 53 games there. Next pitch he sees from Volchko, low and inside, dotted there and called a strike 2. Was able to tally 60 total bases, 42 base knocks, and batting for contact is something that he did very well for the Tigers this past season. As at LSU Media Day, they were really impressed by his demeanor and by his maturity just as a freshman, and you can really tell by the way that he plays the game as the next pitch he sees from Volchko misses upstairs and brings this count to 2-2. But Ashton Larson has now made a home for himself at the top of this Chatham lineup. And now it appears that Matt Klein has a pitch comm issue. He's walking out to the mound with Joey Volchko alongside the home plate umpire. They're taking a pause. And now it looks like Trey Holland from the Cotuit dugout. He takes a couple steps out, but now it looks like they got things figured out. Of course, Grant J doing things the old-fashioned way for the Kettleers, giving signs with his right hand, and Matt Klein using the pitch comm. I was told by one of the GM analytics interns to see the face of Matt Klein when he found out he was going to be able to use the pitch comm device. Said it was priceless. Next pitch. Uncertain swing there from Larson, but he goes after it, spearing at that final pitch to go down on strikes. The first one of the day for Joey Volchko, and quickly there are 2 gone in this bottom of the first.
Such a pretty pitch there by Joey Volchko. As Ashton Larson, just like you mentioned, Joe, trying to spear at that ball as Volchko tied him up on the inside corner, and Joey Volchko doing what Joey Volchko does and making hitters look silly in the box as he gets his first strikeout.
High leg kick as he brings the first pitch home to Ike Irish. He takes just outside the box for a ball 1. But yeah, more to your point, over 42 innings this past season at Stanford for Volchko, 53 strikeouts. That one roped on the ground, a couple hops, and it bounces over the glove of Tanner Thatch, who is lunging to his left. As Irish is charging around first, heading into second, the throw comes in from Winfield, but Irish is in there standing up with a 2-out double.
Ike Irish hopped on the second pitch he saw from Joey Volchko and grounded it hard down the first base line, and it looked like Thatch would have made the play there, had his glove over it, but the ball just skips over his glove and down the right field line, and Ike Irish really being a presence in the middle of this Chatham lineup and picks up another double.
Here's Chayton Krause. Volchko working quickly. That one off the end of the bat of Krause towards the Kettleers dugout on the first base side. Chatham dugout on the third base side. They have a man warming up on deck just to his left, but we are a bit detached from the playing surface here at Veterans Field, as the road broadcasters always are. But the next pitch there from Joey Volchko was able to hit the outer part of the plate to the dismay of the Chatham dugout. And now Volchko is just a strike away from escaping this bottom of the first. The 0-2 offering, hammered down the left field line, heading towards the corner. Compton giving chase, but it takes one hop into his glove. Irish will come around and score from second, and it's an RBI single off the bat of Chatham Krause, who just continues to pound Kettleers pitching, and the Anglers have made it a 1-1 ball game.
Krause went 2 for 3 with 2 home runs just a few days ago in the 8-5 win for Cotuit, and picks up right where he left off with a bullet line drive, dunking right in front of the left fielder Brandon Compton, and coming in plenty of time to score is Ike Irish.
Now the batter is Iva Arquette, first right-handed batter that Volchko will face. From the stretch now, that one tied up. Arquette sending it twisting towards the right center field alleyway. It takes one hop and goes over the fence. A ground rule double for Iva Arquette, as the Anglers have squared up a couple balls off of Joey Volchko with 2 outs in this inning.
Now back from Chatham.
So they'll put runners on second and third for Robin Villeneuve.
It was a lucky break for Cotuit that the ball just fortunately hopped over the wall, and it was a ground rule double, as getting the wave around from third was Chatham Krause. And now, of course, with it being a ground rule double, Krause has to stop at third, and Volchko just one out away from shredding 2 runners on base.
From the stretch, he deals low and outside to Robin Villeneuve. Takes control in this count, 1-0. So Joey Volchko struggling through his first inning of work. Has allowed at least 1 run in each of his first 3 appearances this season, as the next pitch finds the dirt, blocked by Matt Klein, who keeps that in front to make this count 2 balls and no strikes. Throwing to Robin Villeneuve. Volchko getting his first appearance in relief against Brewster. That came on June 22nd before making the switch from to the Team USA national roster. He comes set. The 2-0 pitch to Villeneuve is taken low and outside. It's 3-0 now. But Volchko returning from Team USA, making a start against Hyannis. That was a game where the Kettleers fell behind, but were able to launch a massive comeback to go on to win that game 7-4. Volchko's next offering is a fastball that gets over the heart of the plate, and it's now a 3-1 count to Villeneuve. But turned in 3 innings of work there at Hyannis, gave up 1 run. It was unearned. 5 strikeouts through 75 pitches, and then went on to throw 75 more pitches in his next start against Bourne. Now draws a big swing and miss here and elevates this count to full against Robin Villeneuve. So nice job here by Volchko to work his way back into this count. 1 strike away again from escaping this bottom of the first. Runners are on second and third, a 1-1 ball game, as the 3-2 pitch is cut on and missed for strike 3. So Joey Volchko is able to strand 2 runners in scoring position. He did give up the double to Ike Irish and then the RBI single to Chatham Krause. So the Anglers have knotted things up at 1-1 as we move into the top of the second frame. You're listening to Cotuit Baseball here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. 1-1 ball game as we move into the top of the second inning. Joe Pratt and Alex Rocco are with you, and this is game 28 of the CCBL season. Cotuit, this is game 29 of the CCBL season. Cotuit facing the Anglers for the final time this summer, the 4th and final time. Cotuit taking game one of this season series 4-1 at Lowell Park, and then dropped a 4-2 contest just after the 4th of July on July 5th. They dropped that game 4-2, but then responded on Thursday night with an 8-5 win. So Cotuit with an opportunity to take a 3-1 season series win against the Anglers this season. But we have about 8 more innings until we are able to find that out. Kettleers starting off this top of the second frame with Max Ballou at the dish. He just took a strike at the bottom of the zone. Next pitch from Jenkins is a breaking ball. That one skips in there as the mask pops off of Campbell Smithwick. But the count now 1-1 to Max Ballou nonetheless, who didn't get the start in last night's game. In Cotuit's 6-1 win against Wareham, also didn't get the start in the game before that when they played Chatham on Thursday night. He hasn't played in a game since Wednesday against Orleans. Went 0 for 4 in that contest and now takes low and outside here to bring the count to 2-1. But Max Ballou going on a tear at the plate after making a pitching appearance last week against Hyannis. Pitched 3 innings there, showcasing that awesome knuckleball that he was throwing against the Harbor Hawks, and really did a good job to save the bullpen. Now he takes low and inside here, and they'll say that hit his back foot actually. So barely grazing the toe of Max Ballou. It looked like it didn't clip anything on the way back to the backstop, but nonetheless, the Kettleers will start off this top of the second inning with a base runner.
That pitch from Jenkins really looked like he didn't clip Max Ballou, but Ballou and the Kettleer dugout will certainly take it as they have a leadoff man on here to begin the second inning.
Yeah, Ballou last Friday going 2 for 4 with a pair of home runs at White House Field, as Tyler Cerny is showing bunt here on the first pitch from Jenkins. He fouls it straight back. But since then appeared against Bourne, went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And then another 0 for 4 performance against Orleans. Did not play against Yarmouth Dennis, but making his way back into the lineup, and he's able to reach base for the first time since last Friday. Takes a short lead there as the next pitch to Tyler Cerny. He checked his swing. They'll check with the first base umpire, and he did go around. So Cerny back to 0-2. Wasn't showing the bunt play there. Dealing with the runner on first base, that's Max Ballou. He's standing just next to the bag as Ryan Jenkins comes set from the stretch. Slide steps home, and Cerny takes low and away on the breaking ball. Tyler Cerny making his way back into the starting lineup for the Kettleers. After not playing in last night's game, Timo Becerra getting the start at shortstop. Next pitch from Jenkins. Cerny gets underneath that one, laces it towards deep left center field, sending Ty Johnson back to the warning track, who settles under it and makes the grab for the first out of this top of the second. But that is more of what we've seen all season from Tyler Cerny. Solid contact, but the yard just holding it, and it's the first out.
Johnson ran in on that ball and had to backtrack once again as Cerny gave it a ride. But just like you said, Joe, ballpark holding that deep fly ball in off the bat of Tyler Cerny, who crushed his first home run a couple of days ago against Chatham. Nearly was a couple of feet away from home run number 2.
Advincula takes a strike low and outside. Falls behind in the count 0-1. So Advincula with another get-right game last night has really been a night on, night off, day, night for Jaron Advincula in his past 5 or 10 games. Went 0 for 4 last week at Harwich, followed that up with a 3 for 4 night at Bourne, and then went 0 for 3 against Yarmouth Dennis, followed that up with a 4 for 4 night against Orleans, and fell back 0 for 3 against Chatham on Thursday night, responded last night by going 3 for 4. And so he just continues to teeter between the high 300s in batting average, the low 400s, but across all of that has still been the league leader in batting average. Enters into this ball game at a 4.11 clip. This will be his 28th game played so far this summer. Has just missed 1 game. As Ballou takes off, Advincula flings the barrel at a ball that's going towards center field. Ballou was running, so he has to backtrack to first base. Throw comes in from Johnson, and it's in time. Tagged by Villeneuve there on the chest of Ballou to double up the Kettleers to end this top of the second inning. So the hit and run does not work to the advantage of Mike Roberts and the Kettleers as they go scoreless in the top of the second frame. We go to the bottom half of the second. Volchko headed back out to the bump. Don't go anywhere on the Kets Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website. Bottom of the second inning from Veterans Field. Joey Volchko is back out there, just threw his final warm-up pitch to Matt Klein, who threw that one down towards second base. As a handshake ahead of this bottom of the second inning between Tyler Cerny and Jaron Advincula. They have really become the everyday middle infielders for Mike Roberts. Tyler Cerny starting over 20 games there this summer. Advincula making his 28th start at second base today. So Joey Volchko throws a first pitch strike to start off Kyle Lodis. He'll go 7, 8, 9 in this bottom of the second frame. From the windup, the next one from Volchko. Ties up Lodis, and he flings that one straight back to go back to 0-2 in the count. So last inning, Joey Volchko appearing to coast through those first two batters faced to fly out to center field off the bat of Bermudez, and then he struck out Ashton Larson. As the next pitch is fouled straight back and still an 0-2 count to Lodis. But then got ahead in the count 0-2 on Ike Irish, but then Irish with some great two-strike hitting, two-out hitting. Launched one down the right field line into the right field corner and then was batted home by Chayton Krause. And then an RBI, or not an RBI, but a ground rule double off the bat of Iva Arquette. Brought the runners to second and third. Next pitch from Joey Volchko squeezes through the wickets of Matt Klein to bring this count to 1-2. But still a good response there from Joey Volchko, who, despite giving up the tying run of the ball game, was able to strike out Robin Villeneuve and strand both of those runners in scoring position. Now his 1-2 offering. Hit into center field off the bat of Lodis. Charging in is Ballou, and he will flag that down for the first out.
Now batting for Chatham, the catcher.
That's how you want to start off the inning if you're Joey Volchko after struggling in that first inning, allowing 3 hits, 2 going for extra bases. He had to come in, throw strikes, and work weak contact, and got Lodis just to get under a pitch and sky it into straightaway center field.
So the new batter is Campbell Smithwick, the catcher. Righty on lefty matchup as the righty Volchko deals a fastball low and outside at 97 miles an hour to take an 0-1 advantage on Smithwick. Just got finished with his freshman season at Ole Miss, and now time called by the home plate umpire. Smithwick playing in 30 games for the Rebels this past season. 24 starts. And didn't have the best batting average at the plate. Hit .266, but really did a good job of getting on base in any way that he could as he takes down low here, and it's a 1-1 count to him. But a .449 on base percentage. Pretty good clip to go along with that .386 slugging percentage as he goes after this low pitch from Volchko and sends the count to 1-2. But still able to make a difference in that Rebels lineup, and a smaller sample size, just 79 at bats, but able to reach base on plenty of hit by pitches, 21 walks as he ropes that one foul at the base of the Kettleers dugout and stays alive at 1-2. Making his way to this Anglers lineup this summer and is so far 15 for 40 in his first 15 games. That's good for a .375 batting average as he flings that one down the left field line and just above the Anglers dugout. It bangs off the netting. So still working a good battle here is Campbell Smithwick with 1 out in this bottom of the second inning. Volchko brings the black leather in front of his face. Now goes into his windup. The pitch. Down in the dirt. Taken for ball 2 by Smithwick. Kettleers middle infield playing back. Jaron Advincula, Tyler Cerny are there. Tanner Thatch playing back at first. About 8 feet off the line. Becerra nearly even with the bag at third. 2-2 offering from Volchko. Ahead of it is Smithwick. Launched towards right field. Headed towards the corner goes Easton Winfield. And just in front of the warning track, he finds the second out of the second.
Now batting for Chatham.
2 fly ball outs for Joey Volchko here in the bottom of the second, and he's working ahead. That was a good battle between Smithwick and Volchko there. 7 pitches, and Smithwick gave it a ride, but Winfield making the grab for the second out.
2 quick outs in the second, just as Volchko was able to work in the first. And now it'll be the 9-hitter in this lineup. Ty Johnson gets a pitch in off of his hands and launches it towards the Chatham dugout. Behind in the count 0-1 is Ty Johnson, who was 1 for 9 going into his 4th start of the season for the Anglers, and that was, of course, on Thursday night against the Kettleers. Now 3 for 15, 4 games played, a 200 clip. Has been able to work 3 walks, driven in 1 run. But Ty Johnson, coming off of a season at Baylor where he hit .313, became their regular starting center fielder. And the first weekend of the season, head coach Mitch Thompson wasn't really sure who was going to play center field for the Bears. But after that first weekend of the season, seeing Johnson flash the leather in center field as he checks his swing at the next pitch here and goes back to 0-2. But also hitting a triple against Tennessee, of course, going on to win the national championship this year. And needless to say, that was good enough to put Ty Johnson at the top of the Baylor order for the rest of the season. Went on to have a great year after transferring in from McLennan County Community College, which is just down the road in Waco. As the next pitch to him is a breaking ball that misses low and outside, and it's a 1-2 count to Ty Johnson, who made a quick pit stop before making his way to this Anglers lineup this summer, playing for the Wisconsin Rapids in the Northwoods League. Volchko going into his 1-2 windup. The next offering is a swinging bunt just in front of the mound. Volchko up to get it, throws to first. Thatch receives it, beating Ty Johnson by 2 steps up that first base line. It's a 3-up, 3 down. Bottom of the second inning, worked by Joey Volchko and the Kettleers as the score remains 1-1. We go to the top of the third. But before then, we will send things over to our sideline reporter for the first time today. What do you have for us, Adele?
Thanks, Joe. Yes, let's talk about current rankings. We started out a bit rocky this summer, but once we got our feet under us, the month of July has been extremely promising. Last night, we secured first place in the West Division, with Taylor C's and Mikey Ebner only allowing 1 run on 5 hits, securing a 6-1 win over Wareham. And now this sets us at our overall score of 18 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. A possible key to this, I believe, might be that Coach Roberts looks at every game the same way. It doesn't matter what the ranking of the other team is. He says we all put our pants on the same way. So we go out there and we do our best to win the game. And I think that might be the key to the Kettleers' success because they play just as hard at every single game, Joe and Alex. What do you think might be the key to our success so far this summer?
Well, I think a big key is being able to have a lot of the same guys here. I mean, a lot of times in the last few summers, the Kettleers have hit a bit of a dry spell in the month of July where they're right around 500 in the last 3 years in the month of July, and a lot of that is because of the amount of turnover on this team with guys going to the MLB draft. So you've talked with Mike Roberts a lot, and he mentioned a couple nights ago saying how this is one of the most tight-knit groups that he's coached as a Cape League manager, and I think that definitely has to play a big role in the way this team is performing on the field.
I think you can see that close-knit relationship, especially with the players when they make a tough play in the field. You always see a guy backing him up, telling him we'll make the next one. And then, of course, you have a guy like Easton Winfield who just joins Cotuit's squad as of late, and you've just seen the guys on the team really accommodate him and show him the ropes as Winfield has gotten off to a really hot start. But definitely that camaraderie and playing each game and treating each game the same way, as this has been a tough stretch for the Kettleers in the month of July. You played a Wareham team a couple of games ago that was tied in first place. Of course, tomorrow you're squaring off against YD, who is second in the league. So definitely there's been a lot of close competitive games over the last few days.
And Mike Roberts saying last night, talking to Adele, saying how the record and the standings, that's really for the players. And as a coach, he needs to treat every single game the exact same. You need to go out there and shine your shoes, as Coach Roberts always quotes from his father. But Timo Becerra leads off this top of the third inning for the Kettleers. Fouled a couple pitches back into the screen, and now he takes a ball one low and outside, so it's a 1-2 count. He is the last man in this Kettleers lineup to face Ryan Jenkins today. Batting ninth in the order today, and coming off of a game last night where Timo Becerra was able to reach twice, but no hits as he launches that one into left field, and it sinks down for a base hit. So Timo Becerra leads off this top of the third inning with a base knock after going 0 for 4 just a night ago.
And despite going 0 for 4 last night, Timo Becerra continues to rake against Anglers pitching. Was 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and scored 2 runs in the game just 2 days ago. And Becerra picking right up where he left off with another base hit. And once again, Joe Cotuit getting their leadoff man on.
Next batter is Tanner Thatch as the lineup card flips back over the top. He sends a high fly ball beyond the Anglers dugout down the left field line and out of play. Of course, we are stationed just to the right of the press box, pretty much looking straight up the first base line. But of course, we are behind the big grandstand kind of amphitheater section that is behind home plate here at Veterans Field. As Tanner Thatch will take a ball one outside. 1-1 the count to him, facing Jenkins for the second time. Clouds making their way over the left field trees into center field, casting some pretty cool color across the sky tonight as this one's lifted high above the infield. Going back on it is the first baseman Villeneuve, and lining the chalk line just beyond the first base bag, he brings down out number 1 in this third inning. So back-to-back pop-outs for Tanner Thatch. He's 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Easton Winfield.
And in the first 2 at-bats for Tanner Thatch, you're just seeing him really get under these pitches and sky them right on the short edge of the infield and right on that outfield grass as Chayton Krause and Robin Villeneuve, both corner infielders, making the 2 pop-up grabs.
A pause here before Easton Winfield has his second looks on Ryan Jenkins. As a baseball flew onto the field, a couple of kids playing catch in straightaway center. It's 385 to straightaway center. There's a white flagpole just beyond that 385 sign. It's blowing directly in towards home plate as Easton Winfield goes after the first breaking ball he sees and comes up empty as it finds the dirt. That one just falling off a table, perfectly placed by Ryan Jenkins. Ahead in the count 0-1 on Easton Winfield. They'll shift the infield slightly to the left, the pull side for Winfield, who takes upstairs, brings this count to 1-1. But of course, there are some tall trees above the left field fence at Veterans Field. It's 340 down the left field line. 357 is the marker just in front of the big left field scoreboard that reads a 1-1 score as that next pitch finds the dirt, and it's 2-1 to Winfield. But those trees ending in left center field, making way for the big flagpole, and then all the fans able to sit in their lawn chairs, beach towels atop that right field grassy berm. And of course, the fire station above the grassy berm and right, that's where Easton Winfield put the baseball his last time up at the plate. Now he takes low and outside, and he's in control 3-1. The lights are on here at Veterans Field. Sun still setting over the left field corner, setting up a beautiful baseball sky here tonight as Easton Winfield takes a breaking ball on the outer edge, and the count is brought full. 3-2 the count to Winfield. 1 for 1 today with his first home run of the summer. Trying to bat Timo Becerra over from first. He's got a 5-step lead there, being held on by Villeneuve, the first baseman. Middle infielders are back. They'll check back there at first. Throw from Jenkins. Nearly had Becerra there. Bit of a delayed call from the first base umpire, but they'll say Becerra's safe. Likely expecting him to take off here. 1 out in the inning, a 1-1 score, and a 3-2 count to Easton Winfield. Becerra, a short lead, extends it slightly as Jenkins comes set from the stretch. Takes a look at first, and now they'll throw back to first once more. Not as close of a play this time, but still keeping Becerra honest over at first as he continues to dirty up that road jersey for the Kettleers. Now extends his lead once more, about 5 steps beyond the first base bag, and Jenkins with the glove in front of his face now comes set. And they'll pick off at first once more. This time Becerra is back in there standing up. A bunch of fans making their way to the ballpark as this game has continued to progress. Fans standing behind the amphitheater section behind home plate, lining all around our broadcast table as the 3-2 pitch into Winfield and rolled on the ground towards Lodis. Is up with it, gunning to second for one. The relay to first from Arquette is not in time. So Winfield is able to beat that up the first base line, working a fielder's choice. There's now 2 gone and a runner still on first for Brandon Compton.
Good hustle by Winfield to leg out the fielder's choice there as Robin Villeneuve nearly went into the full splits trying to haul that ball in and turn a second consecutive inning-ending double play, but Winfield just legs it out.
So now the runner on first base is Easton Winfield. The batter at the plate will be Brandon Compton. Lefty lined out to straightaway center field his last time up and now takes a breaking ball low and outside for ball 1. But going into this ball game, Brandon Compton second on this roster in RBIs with 19, just 1 behind Tanner Thatch, who has 20. Next pitch from Jenkins is rolled on the ground, a high chop towards first, but in foul territory. So a 1-1 count here now to Compton, who going into today riding a 6-game hitting streak, 11 of his last 22 at home plate, 6 driven in. But as mentioned, the last time he was taking cuts at the plate, still looking for his first home run since the 4th of July. Has 3 on the summer. And now the 1-1 offering from Jenkins, low and outside to Compton, elevates this count to 2-1. A guy who has been so consistent at the heart of the Kettleers lineup so far this season. Big reason as to why he recently got named to the 2024 All-Star roster. Those lists coming out today from the Cape Cod Baseball League. 28 of the best players from the East and West divisions. Brandon Compton, Jaron Advincula, Tanner Thatch, and Mikey Ebner representing the Pinstripes in the All-Star game this season. The next pitch there to Brandon Compton missed low and outside, and it's 3-1. But of course, we'll break that down a bit more. Adele Huffman will have all the details on the CCBL All-Stars for the Kettleers. As Brandon Compton now digs in, and he takes low and inside. That's ball 4. So the Kettleers are able to extend this inning against Ryan Jenkins and the Anglers. They'll put runners on first and second with 2 gone.
When we've seen that so many times from Brandon Compton this year, working deep in accounts and not swinging and chasing low in the zone and just lays off on those pitches from Ryan Jenkins as he works another walk.
And even when Compton hasn't been able to make a difference with his bat, has continually reached base, that one being his 15th walk of the summer. And the first pitch to Devin Taylor was in there for a called strike 1 on the breaking ball. Black-handled bat with the blonde-colored barrel of it waving perpendicular to the ground above his left shoulder as the next pitch gets away from the catcher Smithwick. Both runners will move up into scoring position as it bounces off the backstop. Straight back to Smithwick, but both runners will be able to make their respective bases easily. And so a big opportunity here for Devin Taylor with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 gone in this inning. 1-1 ball game. Anglers and Kettleers now scoring 12 total runs combined in the first inning in this season series. So both of these offenses getting off to a hot start against each other. Jenkins 1-1. Taken low and inside by Devin Taylor, who thought about swinging but pulled the bat back and now has a 2-1 advantage. So Devin Taylor with a single his last time up is 1 for 1 today. Now hits in 6 of his last 7 games played. 2-1 pitch. Hammered into straightaway center field. That takes Ty Johnson back to the warning track, reaching the fence, looking up, and that ball is gone. A 3-run blast for Devin Taylor with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning gives the Kettleers a 4-1 lead. His 4th home run of the summer, and it catapults the Kettleers back in control at Veterans Field.
That 2-1 pitch to Devin Taylor left right over the heart of the plate by Ryan Jenkins, and Devin Taylor did not miss it. Hit it to straightaway center field, and Johnson ran all the way back, gave it a leaping attempt, but Taylor just crushed it to the deepest part of the park, and with one swing of the bat, he clears the bases and gives Cotuit a 4-1 lead.
So the new batter is Matt Klein. He sends this one high on the infield. Going back on it is Kyle Lodise, and into shallow right center. He will pull down the third out of this inning. So the Anglers are finally able to get that third out of the top of the third on the first pitch to Matt Klein. That didn't come before the 3-run bomb off the bat of Devin Taylor. Big reason for that was the Kettleers extending this inning, and they now lead it 4-1 as we send it to the home half of the third here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Cotuit with a newfound 4-1 lead as we move into the bottom of the fourth inning. Joey Volchko back out onto the bump and will face the top of this Chatham lineup, starting off with Will Bermudez, the leadoff hitter, Ashton Larson, and Ike Irish. Bermudez flew out to center field his last time up. Volchko, with his black glove just above his belt, will be working from the windup. Both heels on the rubber as he goes into his windup and deals. A breaking ball on the low and outside edge for a called strike one. 0-1 the count to Will Bermudez, who is getting his second start against the Kettleers this summer. First time in the leadoff spot, played in left field at Lowell Park on Thursday night, and now he takes another breaking ball at the bottom of the zone. This one called a strike. 0-2 the count to him, and Volchko seemingly settling into this ball game nicely after giving up 3 straight 2-out base knocks in the first inning. Next pitch, spiked in the dirt. Tough one to field there for Matt Klein. Just kind of tried to get out of the way of it as it bounced maybe about 8 feet in front of home plate, maybe about 6 feet in front of home plate. But Matt Klein just trying to not get hit by that baseball. It looked like it maybe grazed him above the left wrist. Hopefully he's okay. And it looks like he's all good as they're ready to go for this 1-2 pitch. Volchko to Bermudez. Here it comes. Tipped foul. That one off the foot of the umpire, it seems, but just to the right of home plate. Staying alive at 1-2 is Will Bermudez, who went on a tumultuous journey to finally find his footing at UC Irvine this past season. The 1-2 pitch from Volchko, taken for called strike 3. So Bermudez goes down on strikes. It's the third strikeout of the day for Joey Volchko to start off this bottom of the third inning.
And after running into trouble in that bottom of the first, Joey Volchko's retired the last 5 hitters. He's faced with a pair of strikeouts, and you're really starting to see him command the strike zone, throw first pitch strikes, and that's when Joey Volchko's at his best.
New batter is Ashton Larson. Gets one off the end of his bat, rolls it foul towards the Ketts dugout. Larson was the first strikeout victim of Joey Volchko back in the first inning. Just picked up his third. Going into this contest at 15 strikeouts and now leads this entire roster as the next pitch misses low and away to the left-handed swinging Larson. Count 1-1 to him. Volchko looking for this second out of the third frame as he deals a fastball that's up and away. A 2-1 count here to Larson as Volchko works into his third inning of work. Of course, this being his third start of the summer so far, but took a little hiatus to join the Team USA national roster and dots a strike at the bottom of the zone here to Larson to make it 2-2. It was 99 degrees in Cary, North Carolina when Volchko had an appearance there pitching for Team USA. And even though it was 99 degrees, his fastball getting tuned up as well with the heat. 98 miles an hour he was able to hit. Playing in that Appy CPL series, so not part of the International Friendship Series, but still able to make a difference for Team USA. As the next pitch missed and the 3-2 offering to Larson is hit on the ground towards Timo Becerra at third, who throws from the infield grass and has it at first as Tanner Thatch for out number 2.
Larson hit that right on the ground at the hot corner to Timo Becerra, who fields cleanly, and throw was in plenty of time to nab Ashton Larson. And Joe, we were talking about this pregame, just the versatility of a guy like Timo Becerra. Saw him fielding grounders at shortstop earlier, of course, making his third start of the season at third base tonight. And just to have a piece like Timo Becerra, when you can plug him anywhere in this lineup and know his glove and bat will translate, just such a valuable addition for Mike Roberts.
Yeah, Becerra, as you mentioned, getting his third straight start at third base, or sorry, not third straight start, but third start at third so far this summer, but can also play shortstop and is a key depth piece for this Mike Roberts infield. And there's a big swing and miss on Ike Irish, who fans through the 1-0 breaking ball from Joey Volchko. So a 1-1 count to him, fell back to 0-2 his last time up and roped a double. Now he gets behind that pitch and launches it foul down the left field line and foul. So once again, Volchko just one strike away from getting rid of Ike Irish for the first time, and a chance to end his third inning of work. From the windup, his 1-2 offering is flipped foul down the left field line, and that will twist out a play once more. Irish working a solid count, and as we were just talking about the Kettleers All-Stars, Irish getting the start behind the dish for the Chatham Anglers as an All-Star this season, also joined by Iva Arquette, Ashton Larson, and Gabe Van Eman out of the Chatham bullpen. This one hit down the left field line, and that will sink in for a base hit. Takes one hop into the glove of Brandon Compton as the ball is relayed in from Tyler Cerny to first base. They didn't like the round that Irish took around first, but he scampers back into the bag safely, and it's another 2-out base knock for Ike Irish.
Compton came in hard on that ball in left field, then put up the brakes, has let that ball just fall in front of him. Thought he wasn't going to make the play, but Compton letting the ball fall in front of him as Irish now 2 for 2.
And he was caught between the lunge and the slide there, trying to go back to first base. Volchko checked back there at first, but he was off the bag, didn't decide to dive, but had to take a couple steps. Maybe thought he was a bit further than he was, as this one is launched off the bat of Chayton Krause, going back on to Compton. Towards the warning track, he will make the grab for the third out. So we have played 3 here from Veterans Field. Cotuit still in control, 4-1 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Max Ballou will lead off this top of the 4th inning for the Kettleers, facing Ryan Jenkins back out there for another inning of work, as it'll be Max Ballou, Tyler Cerny, and Jaron Advincula to face the right-handed thrower. who's headed to St. Mary's this upcoming season. With the black glove in front of his face, goes into the first pitch, and it's a big swing and miss there on Max Ballou, who goes after that low and inside breaking ball and is now down in the count 0-1. Ballou, reaching base back in that second inning, was also the leadoff man in that frame as he takes one at the bottom of the zone for a called strike one. Was hit by the pitch on the back foot. It was a breaking ball that fell too far inside, barely grazed his foot. Didn't hear anything, didn't look like it hit anything on the way in, but Ballou was headed to first. Next pitch is low and outside. 1-2 the count to him. Middle infielders are playing back. Corner infielders also playing back. Slightly shifted to the pull side for the left-handed swinging Max Ballou. 1-2 pitch. Gets ahead of that one and launches it through the 3-4 hole side of the infield into right field for a base hit, and Max Ballou improves to 1-for-1 on the day, and hopefully that puts an end to the dry spell for the left-handed hitter out of Texas.
That must feel good for Max Ballou, who, like you mentioned, Joe, really going through a dry spell over the last few games and just not trying to do too much against Jenkins. Flared a pitch into short right field, and it dunks down in front of Larson. And just like that, another leadoff man on another leadoff hit for Cotuit.
Ballou takes a short lead at first. Tyler Cerny launches that one into straightaway center field over the head of Kyle Lodis, and that dunks down for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Kettleers to start off this fourth inning. Tyler Cerny improves to 1-for-2. He continues to swing a hot bat. And they'll have him on first and second for Jaron Advincula.
And Tyler Cerny continues to rake against Chatham pitching. He's now up to 6-for-13. Of course, hit his first home run a couple of days ago against Chatham, but Cerny not trying to do too much, simplified his swing and goes the opposite way, and it dunks down.
So a big opportunity here for the Kettleers to extend this 4-1 lead. Both of the corners will be pulled in. Jeremy Sheetinger deciding to bring Villeneuve in at first, as well as Chayton Krause. He's actually closer in than Villeneuve. The third baseman, Krause, close to the line with both feet on the grass. Middle infielders are back. Advincula lays down the bunt just in front of home plate. Out to get it is Smithwick. Throws up the line and not in time. Advincula beats it out up the first base line. Second baseman Kyle Lodis can't believe it. He immediately turned around and asked why the home plate umpire thought he was safe, but that'll go down as another infield single for Jaron Advincula, improving upon that league best batting average. And the Kettleers will have the bases juiced for Timo Becerra.
And how many times have we seen that this year for Jaron Advincula, where he's not trying to do too much this time, even laying down a bunt and just trying to move Max Ballou and Tyler Cerny into scoring position, and the speed of Jaron Advincula really being a true threat as Smithwick had to hurry that throw and Advincula barely beats it out.
That's the 7th hit already on the day for the Kettleers as they lead it 4-1, and Campbell Smithwick will head out to the mound to have a few words with Ryan Jenkins. Has really struggled against the last 7 batters he faced. Gave up a couple of base runners in that third inning to end it off, and then that led to Devin Taylor's 3-run home run. Was able to escape the inning with the bases empty, but to start off this fourth, 3 straight singles. And all coming from the bottom of this order, and Alex, Kettleers pitching doing a great job of holding the other bottom of the order last night, Wareham, to no hits.
That's exactly right. And the 4 through 9 hitters in their lineup really just struggled, and they were a combined 0-for-20, and that's been massive, as we've talked about it over this last few games. Is the Cotuit lineup, of course, 7 through 9 today, it being Tyler Cerny, Jaron Advincula, and Timo Becerra really coming in clutch. They're now 3 for 5 today.
First pitch to Timo Becerra, finds the dirt. Up to get it is Smithwick. Both runners, or all the runners, will stay put. Yeah, Cotuit last night from 5 to 9 in the order, hitting 7 for 16. Just incredible production from the bottom half of Mike Roberts' order. Timo Becerra with a 1-0 count, facing Jenkins for the second time, is 1-for-1 with a single. His 1-0 offering ties him up, flipped high and foul out of play towards the snack shack, over everything over there. And a foul ball. That one nearly hitting off the grill. Plenty of fans down there, and a bunch of kids will give chase. There's, of course, a playground just beyond the snack shack down the right field line. Plenty of trees. Fans lining their lawn chairs just beyond the Kettleers dugout up the right field fence. 1-1 pitch to Becerra. Taken low and outside. and he takes a 2-1 advantage. So the corners will be in for the Anglers. Robin Villeneuve at first, Chayton Krause at third base, and the middle infielders pinching the bag there, looking to turn two. Bases are juiced for Timo Becerra in a 4-1 ball game. 2-1 pitch. Becerra gets a piece of it and fouls it straight back. Clearly having to wait on that breaking ball a little bit from Jenkins.
Becerra was well out in front, just lucky enough to foul tip that straight back as he keeps the at-bat alive. Now the count even at 2-2, and this is something that we've seen from Timo Becerra, where he works deep in accounts, fouls off a lot of tough pitches.
He awaits this 2-2 offering from Jenkins. It finds the dirt, blocked by Campbell Smithwick, and a big moment there to keep that one in front. But an even bigger moment is upcoming for Ryan Jenkins, who's trying to find this finishing pitch on Timo Becerra, who just worked this count full. So a great battle at the plate worked by Timo Becerra with these bases juiced. Jenkins comes set. The payoff pitch. Lifted into deep center field. Off the bat of Timo Becerra, going back on it Will Bermudez, who settles under it, makes the grab. Max Ballou will tag from third, move up to home to score a run as Cerny tries to advance to third, and he gets nabbed there. So a great throw by Will Bermudez, received by Chayton Krause at third base. Sliding in feet first was Tyler Cerny. And he is out having a few words with the third base umpire, as is Mike Roberts, but Cerny headed back to the first base dugout. Nonetheless, the Kettleers will score the 5th run of the ballgame on a sacrifice fly by Timo Becerra.
Cerny was adamant that he was safe at third. It was a bang-bang play, but it looked from at least our vantage point that Cerny got underneath the tag of the third baseman, Chayton Krause. But nonetheless, Max Ballou comes in to score as Timo Becerra picks up the sac fly.
And Jaron Advincula also tagging up and moving into scoring position as Tanner Thatch takes a massive cut at the first pitch there from Jenkins. It was a breaking ball that just fell beneath the barrel, and he's down 0-1. 0 for 2 on the day as Tanner Thatch has popped out a couple of times. 1 to first, 1 to third. And now the 0-1 serving from Ryan Jenkins, who comes set. Thatch pops it up over our heads, over our left shoulders, and out of play. So Thatch back to 0-2. Now on a stretch where he's 0 for 6, and that was putting to rest a phenomenal stretch for Tanner Thatch, where he was batting at a .441 clip across the last week and a half. 0-2 pitch from Jenkins to Thatch, misses in the righty batter's box and taken for a ball one. Jaron Advincula trying to get in the head of Jenkins back there at second. Really active beyond the bag. Getting into his secondary lead, really dancing around back there. Trying to bring some attention away from Thatch and to him at second. But Jenkins takes a look and now throws home. Thatch goes after a breaking ball and swings right over top of it for the first strikeout of the day, pitched by Ryan Jenkins. The Kettleers will bring 1 run home on the sacrifice fly from Timo Becerra, but they will leave 1 man in scoring position as they extended their lead to 5-1 after the top of the 4th inning. So we'll send it to the home half of the 4th. Anglers trying to come back when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
It's now a 5-1 lead. The Kettleers having the advantage over the Chatham Anglers, looking for over Chatham so far this summer. Joey Volchko is back out to the bump, looking to complete his 4th inning of work. Kettleers bullpen deep down the right field line, still inactive. Iva Arquette will lead off this bottom of the 4th inning for the Anglers and take one low and outside that'll squeeze all the way back to the backstop. Arquette with a ground rule double his last time up, launching it to deep right center field, the opposite way for him, as it gets tied up by the next pitch and fouls it straight back into the padded backstop once more. So it'll be a 1-1 count to Iva Arquette. And getting a great start to the game the last time he was in the starting lineup against the Kettleers. A 1st inning 2-run home run off the bat of him to deep left center field. That was off of Jansen Kiesel. So now he's down in the count 1-2 on Joey Volchko. Next pitch, cut on and missed. So a strikeout to start off this bottom of the 4th inning for Joey Volchko. His 4th of the outing, and there's one gone in the 4th.
Volchko elevating the fastball there to get the strikeout of Arquette. That one coming in at 94 miles an hour. So Volchko taking a little bit off in the velocity category, but picks up his 4th K so far today.
Here's Robin Villeneuve. He was the 2nd strikeout victim of Joey Volchko. Righty on righty matchup, but that one is a couple feet in front of home plate. Scooped up by Matt Klein, and Robin Villeneuve is ahead 1-0. Villeneuve out of Texas Tech recently announcing, though, that he is spending a year, or excuse me, transferring to Texas Tech out of Tennessee. But spent 2 years at the JUCO level. But a guy so far this season that has reached a couple of times, has hit a home run, has knocked a double, 3 base knocks in 4 games played so far. And now a 1-1 count for him, facing Volchko for the 2nd time. Villeneuve from the right side, and all bright red bat takes up and inside with the fastball, has to spin away from it from Volchko. Taking a 2-1 advantage, but having to take an extra breath after that chin music at 96 miles an hour nearly clipped him.
Such a dangerous pitch from Volchko there, and Villeneuve lucky that he can spin out of the way and not get plunked.
Next pitch from Volchko is on the outer edge and called a strike 2. So it's a 3-2 count to Robin Villeneuve, who has a wide open batting stance deep in the right side of the box. Now the 3-2 offering misses outside, and he's on his way to first with a full count walk.
The left side of the Kettleers infield, Timo Becerra and Tyler Cerny thought it was strike 3. Cerny threw up his hands after that last pitch, just missed a tad outside. As Volchko elevated the pitch, thought he got the call, but it was a walk to Robin Villeneuve.
So now it's Kyle Lodise at the plate. He flew out to center field to start off the 2nd inning. Part of a 3-up, 3-down 2nd frame worked by Volchko. As the first pitch to him is in the lefty batter's box. Sliding to his right was Matt Klein and looked back to first. Villeneuve was back in there standing up. So Kyle Lodise was part of the All Peach Belt Conference team, playing at Augusta this past season and planning to transfer to Georgia Tech this upcoming fall. As the next pitch gets away from Matt Klein, goes back into the netting, and moving up into scoring position is Robin Villeneuve. So they'll have a man on second with 1 gone in this inning. Kyle Lodise playing in 26 games for the Anglers so far this season, batting at a .260 clip. Has 20 hits, 2 of them have left the ballpark, and has driven in 10. Big opportunity to bring his Anglers back into this ball game, down 5-1. 2-0 pitch is at knee height on the fastball and called a strike 1. So maybe taking a couple ticks off at that time as Volchko. That one just at 95.
That's crazy to say, just at 95 miles an hour.
Fouled above the screen, and now 2-2. That one was also 95.
Well, if it helps for Volchko, taking a little bit off of his velocity, 95 miles an hour is still 95 miles an hour, but if he can locate that fastball better and get ahead of hitters and not falling behind, definitely something you should do.
Next pitch is cut on and missed. A fastball that was outside of the zone, but got Lodise to chase after it, and it ends up being the 5th strikeout of the day for Joey Volchko.
Volchko consistent, the 3rd consecutive pitch at 95 miles an hour, picks up his 5th strikeout so far today, and getting Kyle Lodis to expand the zone and go down on strikes.
Yeah, Joey Volchko, a hard thrower, and of course just finishing up his freshman season at Stanford, so definitely a bright future and a lot of draft type surrounding him. And he is currently ranked as the number 3 prospect for the 2026 MLB draft. One of 8 guys on that list to be given a first-round grade. Behind in the count 1-0 so far on Campbell Smithwick. His next offering is a breaking ball. That is a check swing foul ball off the bat of Smithwick to elevate this count to 1-1. But Joey Volchko was a guy who was getting a lot of attention out of high school. Was the MVP of the East Yosemite League as a senior in Redwood High School. Went 4-0 his senior year with a 0.26 ERA across 27 innings. Now the 1-1 pitch. Skipped in there, blocked by Klein. He's out to get it behind home plate. Runner running from second to third. The throw in there is not in time. So Villeneuve, no hesitation at second. A good dirt ball read there by him, and he advances on the wild pitch.
That pitch barely got away from Matt Klein. Is just ricocheted a couple of feet behind him as Klein got to that ball quickly, fired a strike down to third base. But like you mentioned, Joe, Robin Villeneuve getting a big jump off of second and advances to third.
So now a runner just 90 feet away and a 2-1 count to Campbell Smithwick. He's 0 for 1 with a fly ball to right 2 innings ago. Left-handed swinger. All black-barreled bat, motionless above his left shoulder. He awaits, and now he flings that one foul down the left field line. And once more, Joey Volchko just a strike away from ending this bottom of the 4th. But Volchko getting a lot of first-round buzz out of high school. Stanford, though, did not lose a draft, or didn't lose a recruit to the draft since 2017. Joey Volchko continuing on that path. Did not forego his commitment to Stanford. Decided to join that team this past season. Went on there to have a 5.70 ERA, a 2-1 record in 20 games, with 6 starts. The next pitch tied up Campbell Smithwick for a foul ball, and now the 2-2 pitch upcoming. Volchko taking a look over at third. Now with a high leg kick, he moves home, and it's bounced in there. A great block by Matt Klein brings this count to 3-2.
Such a crucial block by Matt Klein there, and you saw wild pitches really come back to bite Chatham. The last time these two teams squared off, 4 wild pitches by the Anglers pitching staff in that game, and Matt Klein really using all of his body to keep that off-speed pitch in front of him.
Volchko leans in, gets the sign from Klein, and now comes set. Takes a big deep breath before this 3-2 pitch is on its way. Breaking ball, dotted on the outside corner, and that's a called strike 3. Campbell Smithwick goes down on strikes to end this bottom of the 4th inning. 3 strikeouts for Joey Volchko, and he holds the Anglers at 5-1. They strand a runner just 90 feet away on third base, and he picks up his now 6th strikeout on the outing. So with a 5-1 lead, we'll send things to the top of the 5th inning, but before then, we'll check in once more with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, we have 4 players heading to the All-Stars. First off, we've got Mikey Ebner, who goes to USC. He's pitched 14 innings so far this summer, keeping up a 2.57 ERA, allowing no losses, and he was also the CCBL Pitcher of the Week of the 22nd. We've got next up Tanner Thatch from UNC Wilmington, who was top 3 in home runs, RBIs, and runs. Sharon Avincula from California, who leads the league in hits, and he's top 5 in runs scored this summer. And last but not least, Brennan Compton from Arizona State, who is 2nd in RBIs, 6-game hitting streak earlier this summer. Very talented players, and we're excited to see how they represent us in the All-Star game. Joe and Alex, what do you think we can see from them coming up in the next few games?
Well, hopefully they continue on the path that they have been. I mean, Mikey Ebner with 4 innings of work last night, scoreless, did allow 1 base runner. It was just on a walk. So these are guys who are definitely well deserving of making that All-Star game later on this summer. But I'm most excited to see Tanner Thatch hopefully participate in that home run derby too.
That would be so cool. I mean, we've talked about it all year long, just the long balls that Tanner Thatch is it. He's blasted 8 home runs, so it really would be cool to see Tanner Thatch blast a couple of balls at a Gov Fuller Field.
All-Star game, of course, being on July 28th at Gov Fuller Field. Falmouth hosting it for the first time since 2003 it was. But they've hosted it plenty of times, and so it should be great to get to see some of the Kettleers play in the All-Star game. Of course, as you mentioned, Adele, Tanner Thatch, Jaron Advincula, Brandon Compton, Mikey Ebner. Jaron Advincula and Tanner Thatch both being starters for the Kettleers and for the West All-Star team. So pretty cool that the whole right side of that infield ends up being from Cotuit.
Absolutely, Joe, and we can't wait to see what they do at this game. But coming up next, we're going to talk about a former Kettleer who has now gone pro. So stay tuned for that coming up later.
That's absolutely right. Making his MLB debut just a night ago with the Chicago White Sox. And we'll have more on that story when Adele meets us after the 6th inning. But got about 2 innings to play until then. As we move into this top of the 5th frame, Easton Winfield will lead things off for the Kettleers. So far today, solo home run back in the 1st inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, an RBI, a pair of runs scored. And the Kettleers with a 5-1 lead as we move into this top of the 5th frame. And a new pitcher enters into the game for the Anglers, tall right-handed thrower who fires a breaking ball low in the zone to Easton Winfield, who takes a 1-0 advantage. It'll be Devin Presley, the redshirt sophomore out of Gardner-Webb, making his 2nd appearance for the Anglers this summer. Now throws another fastball. It misses upstairs, and Winfield is ahead 2-0. So Presley, the first man out of the bullpen tonight for Sheets Anglers. An end to the line for Ryan Jenkins, who goes 4 frames, allows 5 runs on 7 hits, and Winfield fouls that one off down the right field line, but still ahead in the count. 2-1 is the lefty out of Louisiana Monroe, making the switch to the University of Texas this upcoming season. Ultra productive hitter at ULM this past season was Easton Winfield. 2-1 offering from Presley. Hammered on the ground towards second base. Up with it is Lodis after ranging into the hole and throws in time to get Winfield at first for the first out of this top of the 5th frame. So a good start for Presley going up against Easton Winfield to get the first out of this inning as Brandon Compton digs in.
That's exactly how you want to start off your outing if you're Devin Presley facing a top of the order in a 2-3-4 that has really crushed Chatham pitching so far today, but gets Winfield to roll over on a ground ball to Kyle Lodis.
So now it's Brandon Compton, has reached once on a walk back in the 3rd inning, and now he takes a fastball up high here, called strike 1. Presley is ahead 0-1, who was mainly in the back of Gardner-Webb's bullpen this past season. 40 strikeouts and 28 1/3 innings pitched, also tallied on 6 saves. But he ends up being the first man out of the Anglers bullpen today in his 2nd appearance for the Anglers this summer, and that one's off the end of the bat of Compton. Fouled straight back, and he's behind 0-2.
Presley recently celebrating a birthday, turned 21 on July 15th. And of course, the starting pitcher, Ryan Jenkins, celebrates his 20th birthday tomorrow. So a couple of birthdays and birthday outings for the Chatham pitching staff.
1-2 now to Compton. And it's interesting that you say that because the day after Joey Volchko's first appearance for the Kettleers, June 23rd, his first appearance was the 22nd, he celebrated his 20th birthday. Interesting coincidence there. Compton is already 0-1, and now he laces that one straight back to Presley, who gloves it just by his left foot. He'll walk that one over to first base, get a big round of applause from the fans as he picks up the 2nd out of this 5th.
Compton hit that ball really hard, just right up the middle, and Presley throwing out his glove, making the stab, much to the enjoyment of the fans here at Veterans Field, and quickly 2 are gone off back-to-back groundouts.
Chatham fans have had a lot to cheer about in their last 8 home games here. Have won 8 of their last 10 at Veterans Field, have won 3 in a row here, outscoring their opponents 19-13 here at Veterans Field as the first pitch is in there for a called strike 1 to Devin Taylor. But the Anglers going on a 5-game winning streak a week ago, outscoring teams 42-27. Devin Taylor takes a pitch outside, and it's 1-1. But for the Kettleers, they had a game against Chatham postponed last weekend. So the Anglers pulling off 2 straight wins. The offense was firing on all cylinders, and then they were supposed to play a game against the Kettleers on Saturday. That one was actually rained out. But the Kettleers may be dodging a bullet there, as that game was then postponed to Thursday. The Anglers were riding a 5-game winning streak, but then Cotuit was able to stop that right there, winning that one 8-5. And then the Anglers falling 6-0 last night at McKeon Park to Hyannis, their second straight loss. So trying to right the ship here, as that one is hammered into deep center field. Back going Ty Johnson, and he will pull that down just a couple feet in front of the all-blue screened-in fence here at Veterans Field. So given a ride by Devin Taylor, nearly finding his second straight home run in this ball game. But the Kettleers will remain ahead 5-1 as that completes this 3-up, 3-down top of the 5th inning, worked by Devin Presley. And we'll send things to the bottom of the 5th frame. But when we come back, our broadcast partner Alex Rocco will take over on the play-by-play when we return. So don't go anywhere as you're listening to Cotuit Baseball here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Major credit cast accepted.
5-1 is your score here at Veterans Field as Cotuit taking on Chatham for the 4th time so far this season. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman, as Joey Volchko returning back to the mound here for his 5th inning of work. Volchko so far has gone 4, allowed 4 hits, just 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 6. As he's tossed a season-high 78 pitches, his 79th in the dirt to the 9-hitter and center fielder, Ty Johnson. Johnson today 0 for 1, grounded back to Joey Volchko out on the mound. As Volchko deals to the lefty, the 1-0 pitch checked his swing, but it's a called strike, so that evens the count up at 1-1. Volchko threw 75 pitches in his previous 2 starts, now up to 80 here as he kicks and deals the 1-1 pitch. That gets away from Matt Klein, ricochets toward the Kettleers dugout on the first base side. So Johnson pulls ahead in the count 2-1.
Yeah, by pitching into this 5th inning, already the longest outing of the season for Joey Volchko, but there is a right-handed arm warming up in the bullpen.
The 2-1 to Johnson taken at the letters, but called ball 3. So Volchko falls behind the leadoff man, Johnson here, who hit in the leadoff spot the last time these two teams played just 2 days ago. Went 2 for 4 in that game, as Volchko kicks and deals the 3-1 pitch, a half-hearted swing that Johnson waves through, so the count goes full here to begin this bottom of the 5th. Volchko that's already with 6 strikeouts. That matches the season high that he set against Bourne in his last outing, but the payoff pitch taken low and inside, so Ty Johnson works a leadoff walk.
And that's exactly what this Anglers offense needed. Just 1 hit since that first inning. Really nice job done by Joey Volchko to hold base runners, but that's the first leadoff man to reach for the Anglers today. So let's see if the top half of the order can pick him up.
Just the 2nd walk today issued by Volchko, as Johnson takes a short lead off first. Will Bermudez digging in for his 3rd at-bat before the first pitch to him. Pickoff move that Johnson dives back in safely. 30's up the all-white uniform for Chatham, as Volchko gets back on the mound, takes a look back. Now gloves set at the belt. Leg kick and deals Bermudez bunting. Misses. Klein thought about throwing back to first, but doesn't. So the count is 0-1 against Will Bermudez. Flew out to Max Ballou in center field to lead things off in the bottom of the first and struck out looking against Volchko. This one hit on the ground, foul down the third base line. So Bermudez falls back in the count 0-2. Playing in his second game this season against Cotuit. Was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout in the 8-5 Kettleer victory on July 18th. As Volchko comes back on the mound, glove set at the belt, takes a look back at Johnson, now kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. Bermudez once again fouls that deep down the left field line. Bermudez playing in his second season at UC Irvine. Actually just finished up his second season at .301 this past year with 4 home runs, 48 RBIs. As the 0-2 pitch on the way, spoiled once again. So Bermudez doing a good job working deep into the count here with 3 consecutive foul balls after Ty Johnson worked the count full here. So Joey Volchko's pitch count really rising up here. 88 pitches, 56 strikes so far. The tall righty kicks and deals the 0-2 once again. That's well outside. Matt Klein keeps that ball in front of him as it just goes a little bit to his right, but staying put on first is Johnson. How many times we've seen this season Mike Roberts pushing his starting pitcher up to the 90 pitch mark. Volchko at 89. This will be 90 as the 1-2 pitch spoiled once again deep down the left field line. So 6 pitches so far in this at-bat against Will Bermudez. Bermudez coming into, or hitting .250 so far after his 0-for-2 performance today. As the 1-2 pitch hit on the ground toward Advincula at second, flips to Cerny for 1. The relay throw is in time. They got him. A 4-6-3 double play worked by Joey Volchko, and just like that, 1 pitch, and he clears the bases and 2 are gone.
And that's just a great example of pitching to weak contact and trusting your defense. I know he allowed the leadoff base runner, but you can always work your way back into the inning and complete this inning of work because you know that there's that righty warming up in the right field corner. If another runner is able to get on base, Volchko's likely taken out of this ball game before the end of the inning, but now just 1 out away from escaping a strong 5th inning work.
And the first pitch to the lefty and right fielder Ashton Larson taken well outside for ball 1. Larson today 0-for-2 with a strikeout and a ground out as the 1-0 pitch taken too far inside, so Volchko falls behind 2-0 in the count. Changeup sitting at 88 miles an hour from the tall righty. Working out of the windup. Pauses, now delivers the 2-0 pitch. A half-hearted swing by Larson. The appeal down to third. He does go around. The count moves to 2-1 as Ashton Larson still looking for his first hit against the Kettleers this season. 0-for-8, does have an RBI and a walk as the 2-1 pitch released well outside. The 95-mile-an-hour fastball just gets away from Volchko. So Larson sits in the driver's seat, up 3-1 with 2 gone here in this bottom of the 5th. Cotuit leads 5-1. The 3-1 on the way, that's taken high and outside. So the second walk issued by Volchko in the inning as Ashton Larson reaches first with 2 outs.
And it just brings that much more importance to that double play. Double play ball just 1 out ago. If you imagine if Will Bermudez was able to reach base, they put runners on first and second. If Larson was still able to work that walk, they'd have the bases juiced right now. So just great defense and great job by the Kettleers on infield to turn that double play. But now Mike Roberts just made his way out to the mound to talk with the entire infield. We'll see if he makes a move to the bullpen. Didn't make an immediate move or motion with that right arm, but it looks like they will go to the man warming up in the right center field or the right field corner bullpen.
So after the walk to Ashton Larson, Joey Volchko's day is done. He goes 4 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 1 run. Of course, Ashton Larson, if he does come around to score, would be charged to Volchko walked 3 and struck out 6 while tossing 96 pitches, 59 for strikes. But as the new arm comes in to the game for Cotuit, we'll step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network. So Mike Roberts goes to his bullpen for the first time today as Joey Volchko's day is done. And just like we were talking about in between, as the new pitcher was warming up, the longest outing so far pitches wise for a Kettleer started this year as Volchko tosses 96 pitches, 59 strikes. He's really had all of his pitches in full command today, had 6 strikeouts. That ties the season high, but Volchko gives way to Bryson Parrish, who's making his second appearance so far this summer for the Kettleers and coming in at a big spot with a runner on first, that being Ashton Larson, and 2 gone in the inning, but squaring off against Ike Irish, who's had Cotuit's number today, was 2 for 2 with a double and a single against Volchko as he's set to dig in for his third at-bat.
Yeah, we saw Bryson Parrish pitch a couple nights ago where he went an inning and a third and didn't have the lead, was pitching from behind in the first appearance after giving up the lead against Orleans, but then responded in the next inning with a newfound lead. The Kettleers completing that ball game 6-5, but he had to work himself in and out of some trouble as the Firebirds loaded the bases in that 9th inning, but he stayed strong out there, and that's exactly what Mike Roberts is looking for in his second appearance of the season. But of course, a different situation he's the first man out here in this 5th inning.
So Parrish went an inning and a third, allowed 4 hits, struck out 2 as his first pitch to the lefty Irish taken well outside for ball 1. Parrish this past season at North Alabama had a 1-2 record, a 3.27 ERA. In 12 appearances, didn't start a game, but also picked up 2 saves while tossing 33 innings. The 1-0 pitch, once again taken high and outside for ball 2. Irish has really been a thorn in the side of the Kettleers so far this year. We, of course, talked about him being an all-star earlier, but 4 for 7. He's really tattooed the Kettleers pitching staff as Parrish throws a strike as Irish watches it go by. The count now goes to 2-1. Parrish has pitched 4 seasons at North Alabama, really struggled up until this past campaign as his 2-1 pitch fouled off right behind home plate, so the count is even at 2-2. So Parrish goes from 2-0 to 2-2 with 2 gone in the inning, and Ashton Larson still leading off first. Parrish peers in, now gets the sign from Klein. The tan glove set just above the belt takes a look at Larson, who leads off first, kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball taken beneath the knee, so the count runs full here to Irish.
Another long count worked by a Chatham Anglers batter, and Ike Irish. He's no stranger to batting deep into counts. Already 2 for 2 today, and the hardest out so far in the Chatham lineup.
The payoff pitch got him swinging. Ashton Larson was running on the pitch, but Bryson Parrish comes out of the bullpen and fans Ike Irish. As Joey Volchko started off this inning, worked a 4-6-3 double play, but surrendered a walk to Ashton Larson, and Mike Roberts calls upon Bryson Parrish to get the out of Ike Irish as we head to the top of the sixth with the Kettleers still leading the Anglers 5-1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettle.
Devin Presley back out to the mound working in his second inning, coming in relief of the starter Ryan Jenkins, who went 4 innings. And Presley came out of the bullpen, worked a 1-2-3 inning. Facing the heart of the Kettleers lineup, got back-to-back groundouts from Easton Winfield and Brandon Compton, then got Devin Taylor to fly out to deep center field. And now that brings up the catcher and the fifth hitter in this Kettleer lineup, Matt Klein. Klein today 0 for 2. Just one of 2 players joining Tanner Thatch, who is yet to reach base. Brandon Compton, the other Kettleer who doesn't have a base hit, but of course worked a walk in the 3rd inning. So it's just Klein and Thatch who have yet to reach base, but still 4 innings to go here from Veterans Field as the first offering to Klein well outside. That goes back to the backstop. Klein with a hard line out to Iva Arquette to end the top of the first at shortstop, and then popped up to end the 3rd inning to Kyle Odise at second as the 1-0 pitch, a high towering pop-up. That goes foul just over our right shoulders. So the count even at 1-1. Despite the 0 for 2 day for Klein, his batting average still sitting at .340. We talked about all-stars earlier, and Matt Klein definitely has a case for being an all-star himself. 16 hits, 47 at-bats, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, and has really been everything what Mike Roberts could have asked for as a backstop as he waves through the 1-1 pitch. So he falls behind in the count 1-2.
Yeah, and I think just a reason for that could be the smaller sample size, as he's really been more of the 1B to Grant Jay's 1A behind the dish for Cotuit.
Klein playing in his 19th game. Fouls off another tough pitch in on his hands. Fouls that straight back into the netting behind home plate, so he stays alive with the count remaining at 1-2.
But I agree with you, to have a guy who can be a multifaceted catcher like Matt Klein. I mean, I think a big reason as to why he was here was his defensive abilities, but so far at the plate has continued to impress.
Presley kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. Klein swords that down the left field line, and that'll drop in fair. Fielding it is Will Bermuda as the left fielder. Klein thought about heading for second, but puts on the brakes as he retreats back to first base. And once again, another leadoff man on for the Kettleers as Matt Klein notches his first hit of the day as he improves to 1 for 3.
And he's just one of those true catchers who has a high baseball IQ, really loves the game, loves being a catcher. And that's another great mature play there from Matt Klein, who's not trying to stretch that to a double, knows that it's down the left field line. Maybe could be 2, but with no outs in the inning, decides to stay at first. And with that base knock, has been able to notch a hit in now each of his last 7 starts dating back to the 4th of July.
Klein's average back up to .354 as now it's the lefty Max Blue who looks at a first pitch strike from Presley. Blue today 1 for 1, was hit by a pitch on a breaking ball that barely grazed his foot in his first at-bat, that in the second, and singled to lead off the 4th inning where he later came around to score. As the 0-1 pitch laid off for a ball, that evens the count up at 1-1. The hit by Klein, the first hit allowed by Devin Presley. as Klein takes a few steps off the bag pickoff move. He's back in standing. Klein not much of a threat to go off of first, but Presley keeping a close eye on him. Klein has one stolen base so far this summer, has yet to been thrown out. As the 1-1 offering to Ballou. Laid off for ball 2, that coming on the inside corner. Ballou had been struggling before this game after his 2 home run performance against Harwich, as the 2-1 fouled straight back into the netting behind home plate. Ballou was on that pitch there, but fouls it straight back as the count now is even at 2-2.
And that's one of those really competitive swings from Max Ballou that we just really haven't seen in the past couple days. He said after that game against Harwich, he was pulling off the ball badly, made a little adjustment with his hands and with Coach Mike Robertson. That resulted in the 2 home run night, but has continued to swing at some uncertain pitches up there.
The 2-2 pitch got him swinging. Presley fends Ballou as he is set down on strikes for the first time today. Now there's 1 gone here in this top of the 6th.
Just a half-hearted swing again there from Max Ballou, and that's his first strikeout of the day. So a couple of good at-bats where he was hit by the pitch and then the single. So you're starting to see some promising things from Ballou. But with the runner on first and now 1 out in the inning, Tyler Cerny will have his looks on Presley.
The first pitch to Cerny taken well outside as the righty lays off. Cerny today 1 for 2. He's really been on a tear against the Chatham pitching staff. 6 for 14, a home run, a double, 3 RBIs. Fly out that he hit in the second inning, a deep shot nearly going all the way back to the wall. As this pitch in the dirt, Klein thought about going off for second, but it was kept in front by Smithwick as Klein heads back to the first base bag. And another nice block by Campbell. Smithwick saw a couple of wild pitches, but Smithwick keeps the 1-0 pitch in front of him as now Cerny's up in the count 2-0. Parrish, the righty, takes a long look in, has the glove set just at his chest as Klein takes a lead off. First, the 2-0 pitch looked at right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. So 2-1 is the count against the Kettleers shortstop. Was really struggling before 2 times ago before the Kettleers played against Chatham. Had a 2 for 25 stretch that he broke out of in that game. As another pickoff move, Klein back in standing. Cerny had a multi-hit game in that performance. Rocketed a double. And followed that up with another 2-hit night against Bourne the next night as he flares this one. One-hopping the second baseman, Lodis. Fields cleanly his throw just in time to nab Cerny at first. Moving up to second is Matt Klein. So Cerny advances Klein into scoring position, but 2 are gone here in the 6th.
Yeah, no hesitation from Klein at first, taking off on contact. A little spinner towards second base that Lodis just has to go to first for. So we'll have to rely on some 2-out hitting from Jaron Advincula with that runner on second. But yeah, more on what you were just talking about, Tyler Cerny finally breaking through a couple nights ago against Chatham. And that was a 385-foot bomb that left the ballpark, brought the Kettleers back to even with the Anglers at 3-3. And now they're just trying to keep that offense moving into a 3rd straight game. As of course, going into this ball game, they haven't lost in over a week.
Of course, the 1 tie against YD, the 8-8 tie that was called after 6 innings of play. The Kettleers have been on a tear as of late. They sit with an 18-9-1 record. So digging in is Jaron Advincula. Up for his 3rd at-bat today. So far, Advincula 1 for 2. Flew into a double play as Max Ballou got thrown off. Was leading well off first as Presley's first pitch taken well outside against Advincula. It was in the 2nd inning. Ballou was running to second, but Advincula hit a short fly ball into center field. Ty Johnson nabbing him off first. Then Advincula singling in his 2nd at-bat in the 4th. Presley takes a look back at Klein, comes home with the 1-0 pitch. Advincula swinging hard, fouls that straight back into the net. We've talked a lot about Jaron Advincula and the poise that he's had at the dish, hitting .413 but has really struggled against Chatham, just 2 for 12.
Yeah, and interesting. Got to be his worst clip against any team in the league, right? I mean, just a guy who has been on a tear against pretty much every single team. I mean, talking about Wareham last night, continues his strong play against them. And I mean, if there's anybody for it to be against, it might as well be someone in the Eastern Division.
Vincula 3 hits last night. Pair of RBIs. He hits this one in the left field. Going on is Will Bermudez going toward the line, going into a dive. Did he make the grab? He did. What a play by Will Bermudez, tracking that well off the bat of Jaron Advincula. Had to run in. Bermudez going into a dive and makes a fantastic play to rob Jaron Advincula. So just like that, Devin Presley allows the leadoff single to Matt Klein, but gets a strikeout of Max Ballou, a ground out of Tyler Cerny, and the flyout of Jaron Advincula as we head to the bottom half of the inning, with Cotuit leading Chatham here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
The middle of the Chatham order due up here in the bottom of the 6th. It's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters squaring off against Bryson Parrish, who came out of the bullpen in relief of Joey Volchko and fanned Ike Irish to end this bottom of the 5th, as the Kettleers still lead the Anglers 5-1.
Leading off
Chayton Krause today 1 for 2. Does have an RBI, the lone run scored by the Anglers today. That was a single back in the first inning. Coming home to score on that play was Ike Irish. But Krause flew out to Brandon Compton to end the bottom of the 3rd. So due up for his 3rd at-bat today, and looks at a first pitch strike from Parrish, going with the off-speed pitch. That clips the zone at 80 miles an hour. Krause playing in his 2nd game against the Kettleers this season. Takes a big cut out of the 90-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone, but waves through it. So Parrish quickly pulls ahead 0-2 to begin the inning. Krause in that first game went 2 for 3 with a pair of home runs, brought in 3 RBIs as the 0-2 pitch missed well high by Parrish. Righty-righty matchup to begin the inning. Parrish working quickly, deals the 1-2 pitch. Krause with a high towering pop-up that gets out of play down the right field line. Bunch of fans chasing after that foul ball.
So many people here tonight. Saturday night in Chatham. People making their way down to the Cape for the weekend, and some people who have been here likely all summer, but clearly shown out in full force.
The 1-2 pitch got him swinging. Krause down on strikes as Bryson Parrish has faced 2 hitters and got them both via the swinging K.
Yeah, that's right. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts. First getting Ike Irish, then Chayton Krause. 2 guys who are really tough to get out in this order. One of them being an all-star, and he'll face another one here in Iva Arquette, but a great start for Parrish.
Arquette swinging at the first pitch. Rockets this one in the left center field. Gap battle dunked down. Fielding it is Brandon Compton. Taking the turnaround first is Arquette as he motors up into second with his 2nd double of the day, as he's now 2 for 3.
Yeah, Arquette's got great speed, as this time he brings it to the pull side after hitting a double to the opposite alleyway back in the first inning. So improving upon a good day at the plate, now 2 for 3, but Slightly bobbled by Brandon Compton, wasn't smoothly up with it in left field, so it could have maybe been a bit of a closer play at second, but Arquette is in there easily standing up with a 1-out double.
Arquette now 5 for 6 against the Kettleers. 3 of those hits have been extra bases, blasted a home run against Jansen Kiesel the last time. As the first pitch to Robin Villeneuve clips the strike zone at the top of the zone. So the count is 0-1 against the first baseman Villeneuve. Parrish deals the 0-1 pitch, waved on and missed by Villeneuve, so he's quickly down on the count 0-2. And Joe, we were talking about the fans here earlier, and this has been both times that we played, or the Kettleers have played at Veterans Field. The last game being on July 5th, that was a packed house, and this one just equally as crowded. As a long fly ball deep down the right field line, that goes well out of play off the bat of Villeneuve, so the count remains 0-2.
And I think that was a Friday too, so
It was.
playing at a Friday game and then a Saturday game, so prime time against the Anglers.
Playing under the lights here at Veterans Field. As the sunny skies have turned into black night, as Villeneuve going down on strikes as Bryson Parrish picks up his third strikeout, and now 2 are gone here in this inning, 6th inning, with Arquette still remaining on second.
Yeah, Parrish climbing the ladder there with the fastball. Nothing Villeneuve can do with that pitch, but still goes after it, picks up his second swinging strikeout of the day, and Cotuit pitching continues to pile on the K's. That's their 10th.
Now the first pitch to Kyle Lodiz, hit into straightaway center. Coming in just a bit is Max Ballou, who makes the grab for the third and final out of the inning. So Bryson Parrish allows the 1-out double to Iva Arquette, but fans Robin Villeneuve and gets Kyle Lodiz to fly out to Max Ballou. So 4 outs for Bryson Parrish, coming in relief of Joey Volchko as we head to the top of the 7th, with Cotuit leading Chatham 5-1. But before we do, we'll bring on the third member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Alex. And as promised, we're going to talk about Brooks Baldwin. Baldwin made his MLB debut yesterday for the White Sox. Coach Roberts predicted it in an interview 2 years ago, 2 years and 10 days ago. He predicted that 2 years from now, Baldwin will be making his debut in the big leagues. And, you know, it happened. So with the Kettleers in 2021, Baldwin was going to UNC Wilmington at the time, and he was into the 15th round of the 2021 MLB draft, and he decided to go back for his junior year and redshirt. And then he went back to the Kettleers in the summer of 2022, and he was taken by the White Sox then in the 12th round, and now we can see that he's doing big things for the White Sox, and can't wait to continue and see what he's got going on. And Roberts, I know, got emotional in his interview the other night about Baldwin. And so it'll be interesting to ask Roberts and see what he thinks about his performance up in those big leagues. So back to you, Joe and Alex.
Baldwin, of course, picking up his first hit last night for the White Sox. So always good to see former Kettleers thriving in the big leagues, Joe.
Yeah, it totally is. And I mean, Mike Roberts, you flash back 2 years ago to when Baldwin was supposed to be going in the draft. Of course, as Robert said to Adele last night, he thought he should be a first 3-round pick kind of guy, but continued to fall down the draft leaderboards. And I think I want to get this right. I think he fell to the 11th round of the White Sox. And Mike Roberts was noticeably upset in those couple days where he wasn't selected in the first round until he was finally selected by the White Sox. And of course, Roberts could take a deep breath, but he is someone who became really close with Brooks Baldwin across his 2 summers here. So you can definitely see the emotion on his face when he continues to talk about Brooks Baldwin's success, because he has just been skyrocketing through the minor league system of the White Sox.
So now it's Timo Becerra. The first pitch to him misses well low in the dirt, and always good to see former Kettleers players making it big in the big leagues. And saw it earlier with Ben Rice and just the emotion on Mike Roberts' face, and always good to see a guy like Brooks Baldwin who's worked deep in colleges and now finally seeing his hard work pay off. As the 1-0 pitch to Becerra looked at for a called strike 1. So that evens the count up at 1-1. Baldwin last night going 1 for 3. Honestly, kind of similar to a guy who is standing in the on-deck circle, Tanner Thatch, who playing in his second season in Cotuit. Of course, the UNC Wilmington, that connection there. And Tanner Thatch, of course, supposed to go in next year's draft. Curious to see where Thatch goes. The count is now 2-1 against the third baseman Becerra.
Yeah, and Baldwin just a guy who fits the mold of Mike Roberts baseball, can play anywhere, a true wiffle ball player. I believe the word Mike Roberts used last night. He's a backyard baseball player, and that really describes Brooks Baldwin incredibly well.
Fouling off the 2-1 pitch is Becerra deep down the right field line, so the count even at 2-2. To the righty third baseman, who's 1 for 1 today. Singled in his first at bat, picked up a sac fly in his second. Presley a long look in. The righty kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Backing out of the way is Becerra as he lays off on the 84-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, so he works the count full here to begin the top of the seventh. Becerra now 4 for 5 against Chatham this year with 2 doubles as he goes down on strikes here. The drop third strike, a lob from Campbell Smithwick. Hurrying back to the bag is Robin Villeneuve, but he steps on the bag in time to nab Timo Becerra as he goes down on strikes. The second strikeout of the day for Devin Presley.
First baseman, number 30.
And you said it best, Alex, a lob from the catcher Smithwick. That was a rainbow to first base. Looks like that was an inning-ending strikeout where you just flip it back to the mound and head to your dugout. But still able to make the play was Villeneuve. He was a little bit confused by that throw, but made the catch, was still able to complete the strikeout.
So now it's back to the top of the Kettleer lineup. Tanner Thatch, who takes a big cut out of the first pitch from Presley, misses it. Thatch today 0 for 3. Had been on a tear against Chatham pitching, was 8 for 13 coming into today, but so far is the only player in this Kettleer lineup who has yet to reach base, and now goes behind 0-2 as Presley gets him well out in front on the 87-mile-an-hour changeup.
They really haven't been giving him too many fastballs today. Tanner Thatch going after another breaking ball, but unable to make contact.
Thatch with a pair of pop-ups and a strikeout as Presley kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. Spoils the 0-2, hitting it straight back into the netting behind home plate.
Saw the catcher there, Smithwick, after the strikeout of Timo Becerra, pointing towards the dugout of Chatham, throwing up the number 3, likely saying that number 3 indicating a certain game plan for Tanner Thatch, and seemingly that game plan is mostly breaking balls.
The 0-2 pitch to Thatch laid off low and outside, so Thatch stays alive here with the count at 1-2. They've been attacking him low and outside and goes back to that spot here. As Thatch facing Presley for the first time today, hits this one on a line. That'll get down into right field. Moving over into the right center field gap is Ashton Larson, who relays that ball in as Tanner Thatch breaks his 0 for 3. He now is 1 for 4 as he leads off first with a 1-out single.
And it looked like that one was a fastball, low and inside, which is the perfect place for Tanner Thatch to power a couple of home runs out of the ballpark so far this season, but that one will do. Just a flattened out single over the second baseman. And he continues to reach base at a high clip, improving upon that on-base streak, but still 0 for his last 7 going into that AB, and someone who is going into this ball game hitting above nearly 450 in his last week and a half played. So nice to see him get back to his hitting ways at the plate.
Thatch now with a hit in every game against the Anglers this season, and now that brings up the right fielder Easton Winfield. As the first pitch that bounces in the dirt goes off the left shoulder of Smithwick. Ricochets toward the Chatham dugout on the third base line, and easily moving up into scoring position is Thatch. So Cotuit has a runner on second with 1 gone in the inning, and the count is 1-0 against the lefty Winfield.
Yeah, Thatch moving into his new spot in the 1 spot in the order. Now reaching scoring position, but has now reached base in 9 of his last 10 games played.
And another guy who's been placed at the top of this lineup, Easton Winfield, and he's been on a tear as of late. Extra base hits in the last 4 games. Also currently riding a 5-game hitting streak that was extended earlier with a 429-foot home run that gave Cotuit a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. As the 1-0 pitch to the slugger looked at for a called strike 1, the count evened up at 1-1. But Winfield today 1 for 3, has scored twice, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning, and bounced out to Kyle Lodis in the 5th. So Thatch takes a big lead off second. The 1-1 pitch, that's laid off outside, so Winfield's up in the count 2-1. Winfield playing in his second game against Chatham this season. Made his debut on July 11th against Hyannis, went 0 for 3 in that game as he swings away at the 2-1 pitch, dribbles that one foul, just at the base of the Cotuit dugout on the first baseline.
And Adele asked Mike Roberts about Easton Winfield's early impact on this team last night, being in July, and just really saying how now that he's at the top of the lineup, they really like him in the 2 slot. And last night, he really got things going with that double in the first inning. Of course, he wasn't able to be brought home, but continued his strong play throughout the rest of that game against Wareham.
3 doubles on the year for Winfield, lays off the 2-2 pitch, low and outside, so the count is full here against Winfield, who played his freshman season at Louisiana Monroe, put up crazy numbers there, and now entered the transfer portal and is heading to Texas. So 2/3 of the Kettleers outfield today attends Texas. Max Ballou, of course, in center field, Easton Winfield in right field. Both will be headed to Austin, Texas after the summer campaign is over.
Playing for a completely new coaching staff down there, too. They really cleaned the house, bringing a lot of the Texas A&M staff over to coach Texas. So be interesting to see how that Texas team turns out under new leadership, but also making the transition from Big 12 to SEC play.
Should be an interesting season to watch for the Longhorns. Max Ballou, Easton Winfield at the forefront of it as Presley takes a long look back at Thatch, who leads off second, comes home with the payoff pitch that's hit hard down the first base line. First base coach Will Thompson gave it a look at it.
Got to lay out for that. Get the jersey dirty. Those pants are too crisp over there. First base coach's box.
We've seen him attempt to make a couple of plays. Of course, he's usually holding gear as the payoff pitch spiked in the dirt. So Easton Winfield works a walk as he reaches for the 3rd time today. And the Kettleers have runners on first and second, still with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, Will Thompson had empty hands there for that chopper headed his way, but now he'll grab the gear of Easton Winfield, who is able to reach base once again, has reached on a fielder's choice and a walk, other than that home run back in the first inning. So not a one-dimensional day at the plate for Easton Winfield, and they'll have 2 runners on for Brandon Compton. And an interesting moment there as the mound visit was going on. Easton Winfield walked over to Brandon Compton, had a little conversation, talked things over. It eventually works out in their favor, and Compton with his second looks on the pitcher.
The first pitch from Presley to Compton, taken for ball 1 low and inside. Compton today 0 for 2. Flew out to Ty Johnson in center field in the first, walked and later came around to score on the Devin Taylor 3-run home run in the third, and then bounced out to Devin Presley out on the mound. As the 1-0 pitch once again misses low. So the count is 2-0 on Compton, and that'll draw a mound visit with runners on first and second, 1 out. And Joe, this is a big spot. Of course, Cotuit leading 5-1 in this game, but you can never have too many insurance runs.
No, you definitely can't. I mean, a good indicator for that is the last time these 2 teams played. That was just 2 days ago. Cotuit exploding for some late inning offense, and none of these teams have scored runs since the top of that 4th inning. Of course, we're sitting here now in the top of the 7th. This is a Chatham lineup that they really haven't been able to blank for the entirety of a game. And so, except for that first game at the start of the season when they were able to retire 19 of the last 20 batters they faced, but since then it has been late inning offense and offense at the beginning of games. So if there's any indication from the first or the last couple times these 2 teams played, it's that these offenses are just continuing to heat up. So it's a big opportunity and not the part of the lineup that Chatham wants to face here, but it looks like they'll keep Devin Presley in this ball game.
Presley up to 49 pitches so far through 2 1/3. 28 strikes, has struck out 2 batters, is yet to allow a run. As the mound visit's over, this one cracked. The 2-0 pitch to deep center field, going back is Ty Johnson, leaping up at the wall, and he makes the play. So Ty Johnson gave it a big leap, but comes up with nothing but air as Brandon Compton jacks his 4th home run of the summer. What a heck of an effort by Ty Johnson in center field. Scaled the top of the wall, leaped up, but could not bring that ball back. So it's a 3-run bomb off the bat of Brandon Compton. It's his 4th home run of the year, and Cotuit leads 8-1 here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, Johnson going airborne, nearly flips over the back of the center field fence and almost able to come down with that baseball. There's a chance it hit off the edge of his glove, but tough to tell if that one was able to clear the fence, but it just barely did for Brandon Compton. His first home run since the 4th of July, his 4th on the summer. And just as we were talking about extra insurance runs, well, that does that as the Kettleers take an 8-1 lead.
4th home run of the summer for Brandon Compton. RBIs 20, 21, and 22. That puts him in a team lead. And now that brings up Devin Taylor, who's 2 for 3 today, also with a home run. So the Kettleers really bringing out the power bats, as 3 home runs today. As the 0-1 pitch laid off well outside, that evens the count at 1-1.
And all of them to the right of that center field flagpole, so all to the pull side, and that's really where most of these home runs, if you're trying to hit them here at Veterans Field, that's a good place to do it. 314 down the right field line.
1-1 pitch to Taylor on the inside corner, laid off. We've really seen this middle of the lineup be dangerous for Cotuit so far today. Winfield with an RBI, Compton with 3, Taylor with 3. Those are the 2-3-4 hitters for Mike Roberts. 4 for 9 with 7 RBIs is Winfield, Compton, and Taylor. As Presley kicks and deals the 3-0 to Taylor, that one runs too far inside. So it's a 4-pitch walk to the designated hitter for the Kettleers, as there's still just 1 gone in this inning, and that'll bring up Matt Klein.
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up. Just 1 out in this inning, 3 runs already across, and the inning continues. Just shows you how scary the top of this lineup is for the Kettleers. But now it looks like they're going to go to the bullpen. Devin Presley worked well in his first 2 innings of work, allowed just 1 hit, but ran into a lot of trouble in his second rotation around this lineup here in the 7th.
And in the 7th inning, Presley got the strikeout against Timo Becerra, but ran into trouble from there. Gave up a single to Tanner Thatch, a walk to Easton Winfield, the 3-run home run to Brandon Compton, and the walk to Devin Taylor, as his night is done, as the Kettleers lead 8-1 against the Chatham Anglers, as the new arm is warming up for Chatham. And with that, we'll step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
All-Star game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame, or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Garrett Payne is the new arm into the game for Chatham, as they find themselves trailing 8-1. Cotuit extending their lead by 3 after the 4th home run of the season for Brandon Compton. It traveled 375 feet right into right center, 100 miles an hour off the bat, and Ty Johnson nearly making an impressive and impeccable grab, but just misses that home run ball for Compton. And now it is the new arm, Garrett Payne, who's working in his 4th appearance so far this season, has a 1-1 record with a 5.14 ERA.
Yeah, works into his 4th inning of work, already thrown 7 innings so far, 5 runs, 4 of which have been earned, has allowed 1 home run, struck out a pair of batters, walked a pair of batters while striking out 6. So he is a Another hope for this Chatham team as they're trying to hold the Kettleers where they're at. But as you mentioned before we went off there, just still one out in this seventh inning as the Kettleers with Matt Klein at the plate, now moving past the heart of this order, have an opportunity to keep things going against the new arm into the game.
So Payne, the righty, deals to the lefty, Klein. The first pitch, a half-hearted swing there by Klein. He goes around. So Klein is down in the count, 0-1. The Kettleers catcher today, 1 for 3. Lined out in his first at bat in the first, popped up to end the third, and then singled in the fifth. As a long fly ball down the left field line goes out of play. So Payne comes out of the bullpen, throws 2 strikes. Against the Kettleers catcher is Devin Taylor, who worked a walk that knocked out Devin Presley out of the game. He leads off first. Payne, the tan glove set at the belt, and kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch, that one well high on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Payne rocking the high socks. Nice blue socks there. I like the high socks look, Joe. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Growing up, always had to.
Really clean look there for Garrett Payne as the 1-2 pitch. Klein, does he go around? He does. So Garrett Payne comes out of the bullpen, gets the strikeout of Matt Klein, as Klein is rung up on strikes for the first time today, and he's the second out here in the 7th.
Yeah, that just shows you how close of a pitch it was from Payne at the top of the zone. Klein, not sure about swinging, someone who has great knowledge of the strike zone, of course, being a catcher. But a good job by Payne to pick that up. But I want to stick with that conversation. So growing up, were you a guy who pulled the socks up, or would you leave the pants down?
I would leave the pants down.
Oh, yeah?
I just thought for me personally it was a better look. His swing away on the first pitch is blue. A high looping pop-up to Iva Arquette at shortstop. He gloves it for the third and final out. So Garrett Payne comes out of the bullpen, gets a strikeout of Matt Klein, and a pop-up to short of Max Blue, but not before Brandon Compton cleans off the bases as he blasts his 4th home run of the summer and gives Cotuit an 8-1 lead. Here, heading to the bottom of the 7th from Veterans Field, and we'll take a quick break here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Bryson Parrish back out to the mound for his second full inning of work, getting set to square off against the 8-9-1 hitters in this Chatham order as the Kettleers lead 8-1 over the Anglers. I'm Alex Rocco. Joe Pratt stepping aside momentarily as Jimmy Shantulis joining the broadcast. And Jimmy, this is back-to-back times, and we've had you on the call here in Chatham.
Alex, glad to be back. Excited to put the headset back on and call some baseball with you.
Well, of course, if we remember the last time you hopped on, we had a 3-man booth, and then just an inning later, I tried my first hot dog. I don't know if we're going to have the same theatrics here today, because I don't know what else there's left for me to try. I don't know. Bacon I have not tried yet. I have not had bacon.
You've never had bacon before?
I have not.
Alex, do you just not like anything that from a pig?
We'll get into that as the inning goes along. As Campbell Smithwick looks at the 1-0 pitch in there for strike number one. So the count even at 1-1 against the Chatham catcher. A high towering pop-up that stays on the infield. Tanner Thatch gets underneath it, but gets called off by the second baseman, Jaron Advincula, who makes the grab for the first out of the inning. So Bryson Parrish continuing to throw strikes here in his second full inning.
Parrish having great command over the ball right now, putting it exactly where he needs, able to get that pop up. Easy out for the Cats right now.
Parrish so far 3 strikeouts, got a fly out of Kyle O'Deese to Max Blue to end last inning. Now gets the pop-up of Campbell Smithwick, as now that brings up Ty Johnson, who looks at a first pitch that runs too far low and inside. Johnson today 0 for 1, a ground out back to Joey Volchko in the second inning, then worked a walk, but was stranded on base. Actually was out on the 4-6-3 double play by the man in the on-deck circle, Will Bermudez. But he's up in the count 2-0 here against Parrish, who kicks and deals. That one taken well outside and high. So Johnson sees 3 straight balls from the Kettleers righty. Parrish, 23 pitches, 15 strikes so far. As the righty comes set, kicks and deals. The 3-0 pitch, that one taken right down Main Street for strike one.
Although Parrish falling behind quickly 3-0, his ability to battle back in this count.
As the 3-1 on the way to the lefty Johnson, that one runs inside as he ditches the gear and heads down to first with a 5-pitch walk, his second so far today.
And that pitch just got away from him there. May have clipped him as he leaned away a little bit, but, still able to get the Cats out of this inning here. Maybe, throw a little ball down low, potentially get a ground ball, double play, get out of this inning here.
And that's what we saw the last time in that top of the 5th with the man digging in, Will Bermudez, before the first offering to him a pickoff move that Johnson has to dive back in safely. Bermudez today 0 for 3, flew out to Baloo in center, struck out looking, and bounced it to a 4-6-3 double play on the first pitch, a high looping foul ball that goes to the left and over the press box. As a couple of fans chase after that ball. So the count is 0-1 against the leadoff man for the Anglers. As Johnson takes his lead off first, Parrish kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch, a big cut on and miss by Bermudez. So quickly 2 strikes from Parrish. This is something that we've seen a lot of from Bryson Parrish so far today, is getting ahead of hitters and fanning them. As he kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch, that one taken for ball 1. So Bermudez, a good eye, keeps this at-bat alive. Parrish in his first outing picked up the win, recorded 4 outs, did give up 5 hits, but fanned 2 in that outing. Just a couple of days ago on July 17th against Orleans. The 1-2 pitch on the way, taken beneath the knees. So the count is evened up at 2-2. Dark night skies above head here at Veterans Field. What once was a beautiful sunny day has turned to an even better night for baseball as the 2-2 pitch to Bermudez spoiled as he hits this one foul down the first base line. One of the Kettleers coming out of the dugout, picking up that foul ball.
Seemed to clip Klein right in the chest protector, but looks to be okay.
The home plate umpire, Mike Inahosa, giving Matt Klein a moment, but he stays in the game and appears to be okay. As Parrish, the tall righty, takes a look back at first, now comes home with the 2-2 pitch. That one goes foul to flex right off the pole in front of us.
Alex, it looked like that was coming right at me. I was ready to catch that.
It's going right over our heads, then deflected off the pole, shot right. Now a bunch of kids are chasing after that foul ball.
That one had some heat on it.
So Bermudez stays alive on his second consecutive foul ball. The 2-2 pitch taken beneath the knees once again as he works the count full here. And a really good battle going on between Bermudez and Parrish. 7 pitches so far in this at-bat. Johnson still with a big lead off first, being held on by Tanner Thatch. Parrish, the righty. The tan glove set at the belt, taking off for second is Johnson. Popping this out of play is Bermudez. Klein gave it a look, but that once again goes down the right field line and out of play. So 8 pitches so far seen by Will Bermudez, and this is exactly what you want for your leadoff hitter, Jimmy.
Absolutely. Bermudez being able to see the ball very well at this at-bat, but also Parrish dealing effectively here, having a phenomenal square off right now between these two.
We've seen a lot of pitchers at the top of the zone. Then when Parrish has gone to the off-speed pitch, all have missed beneath the knees. So the payoff pitch on the way once again, another towering pop-up that goes directly over our heads. Bounce off a couple of trees and lands in the grassy area behind us.
Another mosh pit going after that ball.
Well, Will Bermudez is giving these kids a workout here with the amount of foul balls that he's hit so far in this at-bat. 5 foul balls for Will Bermudez. Barely straightens this one out, and that'll go just foul down the right field line. Bermudez put a charge into it, but just a tad bit out in front.
Yeah, these two are absolutely battling right now.
You know, Jimmy, if there was a definition for battle, I think this at-bat would be it. 10 pitches so far from Bryson Parrish to Will Bermudez. A boatload of foul balls. There's been 6 so far in this at-bat.
Yeah, neither one wants to let up right now.
The count has been full for the last 4 pitches as Parrish looking to end this at-bat. Still just 1 out in this inning. Johnson leads off first. Parrish, the long look in. Kicks and deals. Bermudez hits this one in the right center field gap. Giving it a look is Easton Winfield. He will look up, and that ball is out of here. Will Bermudez ends the long at-bat on pitch number 11 and cracks a deep bomb for his first home run of the summer with Chatham. And just like that, with one swing of the bat, the Anglers cut the lead to 8-3 here in this bottom of the 7th.
Bermudez got a full hold of that one. Saw that full lead to home plate. Able to put some runs here on the board for Chatham. First time since that first inning.
3 RBIs on the year now for Will Bermudez, as that's his first home run today, as he's now 1 for 4. Now that brings up Ashton Larson, who hits another deep drive into center field. Closing in on it is Ballou, who makes the running grab on the track. So it's a long fly ball for Ashton Larson, who's now 0 for 3 today, and 2 are gone here in this bottom half of the inning.
For a short moment, I thought that one was gone at the exact same spot as Bermudez is at bat. But again, Parrish able to have plenty of control over this baseball, putting it exactly where he wants, getting another out, 1 more for the Cats right now.
So now it's Ike Irish, who's 2 for 3 today. He's had a lot of success against the Kettleers so far this summer, as the first pitch from the righty, Parrish looked at for a called strike number 1 against the lefty, who was selected to the All-Star game earlier today as a catcher, but is the designated hitter for Chatham, and back-to-back strikes in from Parrish, as Irish has looked at both, so the count is 0-2. Parrish working quickly here, and he gets him down on strikes again. Ike Irish down on strikes for the second time today, as Bryson Parrish fans him for his 4th so far. And after the 2-run home run by Will Bermudez, Cotuit still leads 8-3. So stay tuned for the final 2 innings from Veteran Field right here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
At the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-5700 3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Basic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
The shortstop.
7, 8, and 9 due up here for Cotuit in this top of the 8th, as the Kettleers still lead 8-3 over Chatham. I'm Alex Rocco, joined back by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman, taking you the rest of the way from Veterans Field as Tyler Cerny, the first pitch to him, taken for ball number 1. Cerny today 1 for 3. Flew out to center, singled in his second at bat, that coming in the 4th inning, then bounced out to Kyle Odis at second. As Garrett Payne, the tall righty, kicks and deals the 1-0 pitch. That gets by the catcher Smithwick. So the count is 2-0. Payne came out of the bullpen and got a strikeout, of Matt Klein and a pop-up of Max Ballou to end the 7th inning, coming in relief of Devin Presley. Allowed the 3-run home run to Brandon Compton to straightaway center field. There's the 2-0 from Payne. Taken well outside, so he falls behind 3-0 here. Garrett Payne made 6 appearances at NC State this past year at a 14.73 ERA as the 3-0 pitch runs inside, nearly hits Tyler Cerny. But he backs out of the way, and that'll be a 4-pitch walk as the Kettleers once again have another leadoff man on.
Great at bat there from Tyler Cerny, who is still 1 for 3 on the day, but a leadoff man to start off this inning. Incredibly important. You don't want to have a quick inning in this 8th frame because Chatham, of course, they got the bats going a little bit with that Will Bermudez 2-run shot just an inning ago. So we talk a lot about momentum, Alex. There's potential that Chatham maybe regained a little bit of it there, but a long inning could kind of take the wind out of their sails.
The first pitch to the second baseman, Jaron Advincula, taken for ball number 1. Payne, the Charlottesville, Virginia native, currently in the transfer portal. After spending 4 seasons at NC State, was injured for one of them, however. As the 1-0 pitch to Advincula, taking off for second is Cerny. This throw down from Smithwick, not in time. Tyler Cerny got a big jump off Garrett Payne and swiped second for his 4th stolen base this summer.
Yeah, now 1 behind Nathan Hall for the team lead, a guy who's been able to make a big difference on the base pass when he's been able to reach base. But of course, a base running mishap earlier on in the game. Could call it a mishap, could just call it a great throw by Bermudez and left where he was nabbed trying to tag from second to third.
So 2-0 is the count on Advincula. Payne with a long look back at second now comes home. Advincula squaring around a bunt, then pulls back as the 91-mile-an-hour heater misses too far inside. So Advincula up in the count 3-0, and Payne has tossed 7 consecutive balls to begin this 8th inning. Payne was thrusted right into the fire in his freshman season at NC State as Jaron Advincula thought it was ball 4, nearly headed down to first base, but it was called a strike. So the count is 3-1. Made 7 appearances as a freshman, were at a 5.27 ERA. But pitched in the College World Series as NC State was dealing with COVID as the 3-1 pitch, deep foul ball down the left field line. So the count runs full here. So from 3-0 to 3-2 we go. But Payne made the start in the College World Series where he tossed 5 innings, allowed just 1 earned run and 2 hits. Struck out 3 and walked 3 in that appearance as Advincula another foul ball deep down the left field line, staying alive here. Then Payne had a 5.91 ERA in 2022, was injured and missed the entire 2023 season, and came back this past year and threw just 3.2 innings pitched as Advincula, another foul ball right over the press box to our left. But Payne in those outings really struggled with his command, walked 4 batters in 3 2/3, struck out 4, gave up 6 hits, 6 earned runs. Now is in the transfer portal. This being his 4th appearance so far this summer. Has a 5.14 ERA is the payoff pitch. That one taken Above the letters to Jaron Advincula, so back-to-back walks worked by Tyler Cerny and Jaron Advincula. And Cotuit has runners on first and second with no outs here in the 8th.
Well, I think Garrett Payne is a great example of what this league and what summer ball as a whole represents for a lot of pitchers. People might think that pitching in the fall, spring, and summer might be too much for these pitchers' arms, but for a guy like Payne to work through some rehab and to try to get back in the swing of things and especially get some looks up here trying to draw a few eyes at him to be added to a new college roster. But it's just cool to see these guys who are maybe up here for a different purpose.
Attempting to bunt on the first pitch from Payne is Timo Becerra, pulls back, so that's a ball 1. Like you said, Joe, and this is massive for Garrett Payne, a guy who was left off NC State's tournament roster this past season. So from once being a key part of NC State's College World Series run to being left off the roster, Payne pitching here in Chatham and looking to revitalize his career as the 1-0 pitch gets behind the catcher Smithwick. Becerra once again attempting to bunt, but it goes all the way back to the backstop. So moving up into scoring position is Cerny and Advincula as the Kettleers have runners on second and third.
Yeah, taking advantage of another missed ball by the catcher and another missed throw by the pitching staff of Chatham so far today. I've had a couple get back to the screen, and Cotuit able to get 2 runners in scoring position. So now with Chatham, or with the runners on second and third, they'll bring the infield in, everybody playing up on the grass. They want to keep this 5-run deficit exactly that at 5 runs.
Each pitcher today for Chatham with a wild pitch. Joey Volchko had 2 for the Kettleers as the 2-0 pitch. Big cut on and miss there on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball from the righty Payne as Becerra waves through it. Becerra today 1 for 2, singled, had a sac fly in the 4th, and then struck out in his last at-bat just an inning ago. As Payne kicks and deals the 2-1 pitch, that's looked at once again going back with a fastball for a strike 2. So the count goes from 2-0 to 2-2. 2 runners on, no outs. Cotuit leads 8-3. Chatham with the infield in against the righty Becerra. Payne takes a look back at the runners, now kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Timo Becerra goes down on strikes in back-to-back at-bats as he's now the first one retired here in this 8th inning.
Yeah, frustrated with himself as he brings that bat far back behind his head after swinging and missing at that pitch. Just an emergency swing there that he likely is just trying to get a piece of it, foul it off, but isn't able to make contact with it at all. But now Tanner Thatch, hot off of a single just an inning ago, has a chance to bat both of these guys home.
That's the response that you want to have if you're Garrett Payne, issuing 2 free passes to begin the inning, falls behind Becerra 2-0, and then fans him on strikes as now he starts out Tanner Thatch with a first pitch ball that misses low and outside. Thatch today started out 0 for 3, singled and came around to score in his last at-bat just an inning ago as Payne kicks and deals the 1-0 pitch. Thatch fouls that directly over our heads, back into that open area of grass.
An army of kids going back there to get it. So many kids here tonight. Another foul ball that they chase after. This is a great place to come. A lot of families are around, and there's another one headed foul.
I've got another foul ball to chase after as this one doesn't go as far. Lands just behind our heads.
Cam should have made the play.
Cam, I'm telling you, you got to spin off the chair and directly catch that foul ball. That would be a heck
Just
of
like
a play
that.
by Cam Christie. The 1-2 on the way to Thatch. This one lined, and that'll go over the head of the left fielder, Will Bermudez, who was playing in on the play. And coming in to score is Cerny. Following him is Advincula. So Tanner Thatch notches another extra base hit as it's a 2 RBI double, and the Kettleers now lead 10-3 here in the 8th.
Pounded off the bat of Tanner Thatch into the opposite way, which is not something that we see too often. Interesting that you mentioned Will Bermudez playing way up in left field. They didn't want Advincula likely to score from second one of those runs, but it gets over his head. Both of them come in to score, and with that, Tanner Thatch just continues his strong play at the plate. 2 more RBIs, extending his team lead now to 22 on the summer.
Thatch now 10 for 18 against Chatham this year with 6 RBIs. As he continues to rake, swing at the first pitch is Easton Winfield. Another foul ball that goes over the press box just to our left. Winfield today 1 for 3, has scored 3 times. Blasted his first home run all the way back in the first inning. One of 3 home runs hit by Cotuit so far today. His being the longest, traveling 429 feet, as this one hit right back on the ground to Payne. That deflects off of his glove, goes to Lodis at second, who fields and fires to first in time to nab. Winfield moving up to third is Tanner Thatch, but Winfield is retired for the second out.
That's the difference that's made when you just put the ball in play and you look at the top half of this order from 1 to 5, just 2 strikeouts so far today, and Cotuit striking out the fewest of any other team in the CCBL, but it's more of the same at the bottom half of the order with just 3 strikeouts down there. So putting the ball in play, making the defense make plays, it's something that Cotuit has done well all season long, and they continue that here tonight in game 29.
The first pitch to Brandon Compton in the dirt, just gets away from Smithwick, but not enough for Tanner Thatch to come home as he stands on third. Cotuit 10 runs on 11 hits, no errors. Chatham 3 runs on 6 hits, just 1 error. And Joe, now every man in the Kettleer lineup has tallied a base hit. Brandon Compton being the last one to do so, and he did it in a dramatic way, blasting a 3-run home run to center field just over the leaping glove of Ty Johnson. Compton fouls another pitch away, so the count evened up at 1-1. Compton before that was 0 for 2. Did reach via the walk, but flew out to Johnson in center and bounced out to Devin Presley. As the 1-1 pitch taken low and outside for ball 2.
You like this even production in the lineup, too. It's 6 hits from the top 4 guys in the lineup, 5 hits from the bottom 5, and this lineup clicking from 1 through 9 as Mike Roberts envisions each and every night.
Compton, another foul ball into the net right behind home plate. So the count evened up at 2-2. You mentioned the even production. However, the RBIs and the run producing has come from the top 4 hitters in this Kettleer lineup. 9 of the 10 RBIs have come from the 1 through 4 hitters for Cotuit. Thatch leads off third. Payne, glove set at the belt, kicks and deals out of the stretch. The 2-2 pitch goes off the glove of Smithwick, redirects his flip to home, not in time as Tanner Thatch slides in safely. So it's a wild pitch as Thatch comes in to score, and the Kettleers take an 11-3 lead here in the 8th.
Great jump there from Thatch at third base. He was just 90 feet away, but with the backstop here at Veterans Field, probably one of the bigger ones in the league, minus Lowell Park, but it's all padded behind the backstop with some bricks too, and so it hits off that pad there, and Smithwick sliding, and in the middle of the slide, sent an underhand toss to Garrett Payne, so it was quick hands and a nice flip by the catcher Smithwick, but just not in time to get Tanner Thatch, who was hustling in from third.
So the bases are now empty. Full count, 2 out here in the 8th. The pitch to Compton, this one flared into center field. Straightaway center as Ty Johnson has to move over to his left and makes the grab for the third and final out of the inning, but not before Cotuit tacks on another 3 runs, 2 of which coming off the bat of Tanner Thatch as he ropes a 2 RBI double and comes in to score off the wild pitch. It's been all Kettleers here today at Veterans Field as they lead 11-3, and we'll take a quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Work family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Bryson Parrish's day is done. He goes 2 1/3 innings, allows 2 hits, 2 runs, those both coming off the 2-run bomb by the leadoff man, Will Bermudez. Walks 1 and strikeouts 4. And now coming in is Lucas Perko, who's ate up a lot of innings for the Kettleers, and Mike Roberts out of the bullpen, this being his 4th appearance.
Yeah, I have to have liked what you've seen from Lucas Perko so far this season, but a really effective start his last time out where he ate up some innings, and that was earlier this week, looking to do the more here and trying to close out this ball game most likely for the Kettleers.
So Perko starts out the at-bat against Chayton Krause with a first pitch strike. That was looked at, quickly delivers the 0-1, towering foul ball deep down the right field line. So quickly 2 strikes against the cleanup man for Chatham, who's 1 for 3, singled in his first at-bat, flew out to Brandon Compton and left and struck out. As the 0-2 pitch misses the zone, Perko moving quickly, elevates on the fastball there as Krause waves through and misses it. He's been set down on strikes twice now, and Lucas Perko comes out of the bullpen, throws 4 pitches, and notches his first strikeout.
Lucas Perko dotting the zone, and it's more of the same from what we saw his last time out on the mound. Guy who could throw a lot of strikes, strike out pitchers at a high clip. Not going to blow you away that much, but dots his pitches incredibly well.
Arquette smacks this one on the ground. That'll be fair. Avoiding the glove of Timo Becerra as he went into a slide. This one gets in the left field. The relay throw from Compton. Not in time as Iva Arquette slides in safely. Have a day, Iva Arquette. He's now 3 for 4 with 3 two-baggers.
A big reason as to why he'll be in the All-Star game representing the East Division as he knocks yet another double today, and that one roped down the left field line. We've seen him go to right field. We've seen him go to the left center field alleyway, now pulled down the line sharply, and he's put together a great day at the plate despite the struggles for the Anglers today.
Chatham with 7 hits, Arquette with 3. Now the first pitch to the righty Robin Villeneuve, taken well high. Laid off on the 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Villeneuve today 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Did walk in the 4th inning. As Perko falls behind here 2-0 as that last pitch runs too far inside. Villeneuve has to back out of the way.
3 doubles today for Arquette, up to 4 on the summer. Had just 1 going into this game.
Arquette's liked facing the Kettleers, blasted a home run against Jans and Kiesel the last time these two teams played here at Veterans Field. So back-to-back 3 for 4 performances for Iva Arquette against Cotuit. The count is 2-1 against Villeneuve. As Perko, working out of the stretch, takes a look back at Arquette, who leads off second. Now comes home with the 2-1 pitch. This one hit on a line in the right center field gap. That'll hit off the base of the wall. Fielding it is Max Ballou. Coming in to score is Arquette. Moving up to second base is Robin Villeneuve. And the bats have come alive for Chatham here, as it's an RBI double for Robin Villeneuve, as Cotuit still leads 11-4.
Now batting for Chatham.
Yeah, just 5 hits through the first 6 innings in this ball game, but now 3 in the 7th and in the 8th inning. And so for Lucas Perko, trying to work in and out of trouble now in this 8th frame. Wanted to keep that pitch count low, but of course it was a promising outing his last time out. Three innings where he didn't allow an earned run against Orleans, did allow 1, but it was unearned.
Starts out the at-bat against Kyle Odis with a first pitch that misses well outside. Went with the off-speed pitch at 75 miles an hour. Takes a look back at Villeneuve, now comes home with the 1-0. Towering pop-up that gets out of play down the first base line to that open area of grass in beneath the trees. Lodis today still looking for his first hit. as a pair of flyouts to Max Ballou in center is also struck out swinging. The Kettleers have 11 strikeouts against Chatham today, as Perko pulls ahead in the count 1-2 as Lodis looks at a pitch right down the heart of the plate. So Perko looking to get the final 5 outs of this game and secure win number 19 for the Kettleers. A 1-2 left well high and outside. Lodis hitting .250 this summer. Struggled against the Kettleers, just 2 for 14, including the 0 for 3 performance today. Perko kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Elevates the fastball and Lodis chases as Lucas Perko has recorded 2 outs, both via the swinging strike.
Now up to 14 on the summer, and great response after giving up back-to-back doubles. His second strikeout this inning, just an out away from escaping it. Facing the lefty in Campbell Smithwick, who has struggled today at the plate, is 0 for 3.
The first pitch to Smithwick, big cut on and missed. So he falls behind on the count, 0-1. Smithwick, just like you mentioned, Joe, an 0 for 3 performance. Fly out, a strikeout, and a pop-up. As the 0-1 pitch hit on the ground sharply to Advincula at second, fields cleanly, makes the easy throw in time to nab Smithwick for the third and final out of the inning. But not before Chatham makes it an 11-4 ball game after the RBI double from Robin Villeneuve, scoring Iva Arquette as we head to the top of the ninth, with Cotuit leading Chatham 11-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? Zoom Info's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, Zoom Info's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today.
Top of the ninth here at Veterans Field, the Kettleers lead 11-4. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt. And we go from one Jimmy to another, from Jimmy Shantulis to Jimmy Middleton, as he joins the broadcast with the Kettleers in full control.
How you doing, boys? You guys doing good up here?
Doing great, Jimmy.
Yeah, I've just kind of been on a journey around the whole ballpark today. Stopped down to the bullpen to see
Swing away at the first pitch is Devin Taylor, who hits it on the ground to Robin Villeneuve. His flip is in time to nab Taylor. A close play at the bag, but Devin Taylor falls back to 2 for 4.
see our good friend 6-0, Elliot Wolf. Shout out Elliot. Love you, kid.
Yep.
But how about this Kettleers offense tonight? Putting up double digits, and then along with the pitching staff, putting up a hole in the Anglers to only 4. I mean, when you're putting up double-digit runs like 11, it doesn't really matter, but good on them.
Yeah.
Cotuit, 11 runs on 11 hits. Swing away at the first pitch is Matt Klein, who hits a towering pop-up to the third baseman, Chayton Krause, who gloves it. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Matt Klein, and 2 are gone in the inning.
So, Jimmy, your thoughts on the long balls today?
You know, this Veterans Field, to me, plays a little bit bigger than it normally is, and the fact that we have it's 3 tonight, right? We got 3
Yep.
homers,
4 total.
4 total in the game, 3 homers for Cotuit. That means the boys are coming to play, especially east of Winfield, top of the first, depositing a ball into the firehouse, basically. You know, I'm glad they didn't have to go on a call to save someone's life because that ball would have been in the way of the tires. But
yeah.
The 0-1 pitch swung on and cracked by Max Blue. A really high fly that going all the way out into short right field is the second baseman, Kyle Odis, for the third and final out of the inning. So Garrett Payne works a 1-2-3 top of the ninth as we head to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers leading the Anglers 11-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Batting for Chatham, the center fielder from Baylor, number 65.
3 outs to go for the Kettleers as they look to capture win number 19 as they lead the Chatham Anglers 11-4. Jimmy Middleton is still sticking with us here in the bottom of the ninth as Lucas Perko returns to the mound, gets set to square off against the 9-1 and 2 hitters. And leading things off is Ty Johnson, the lone man in this Chatham lineup who is yet to strike out. They fanned 12 times so far today as Lucas Perko starts out the lefty Johnson with a first pitch strike.
fellow Baylor Bear, Joe.
Yep.
The 0-1 well out in front is Johnson. So the count goes to 0-2.
I don't think we had any eventually did. Enzo Apodaca with Yarmouth Dennis. He transferred to Baylor, but yeah, great to see Ty Johnson making an immediate impact here.
The 0-2 pitch laid off on the outside corner for ball 1.
Perko is one of these guys that really likes to work quick, just gets the ball and kind of goes. That's something I like around here in this Cape League.
The 1-2 got him swinging. Strikeout number 13 today for the Kettleers pitching staff. Lucas Perko's third, and now every hitter in the Chatham order has gone down via the strikeout.
It's called the good old announcer's jinx.
Yep.
Just can't escape it.
But I like what you're saying about Lucas Perko. I mean, a guy who comes from Cal Baptist, probably not someone who faced a lot of guys like this season, guys playing in the SEC Big Ten. I mean, you have to think that he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And do you think that helps out his pitching performances, I guess?
I would say most definitely. Any guy that goes to a smaller D1, D2, D3, they're going to want to prove themselves up here in the Cape. They call this is where the stars tomorrow shine tonight. So I mean, I feel like these guys definitely, all the smaller schools definitely playing with a chip on their shoulder.
The 1-1 pitch, off-speed pitch, laid off on the inside corner against Will Bermudez.
And here's another one, Will Bermudez, UC Irvine.
The 2-1 from Perko to the lefty Bermudez looked at for strike 2.
And
the Anteaters.
Yeah, one of the best mascots in all of college sports, I think.
Best.
If not the best. Right behind the Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islanders. Great logo.
The 2-2 got him swinging. Bermudez tempted to run down to first, but Klein made the grab. So 2 strikeouts for Lucas Perko, and Chatham is down to its final out.
A great night for Will Bermudez. I mean, clearly proving it, being the leadoff man, already hitting a home run in the 7th inning, but tough day for him as it stands other than that home run, and Cotuit is 1 out away.
All right, guys, not to go back to like football, LSU, Cotuit Kettleers, but you think Larson knew about the 2019 LSU team and how close the Kettleers are compared to him?
I think he knows about the 2019 LSU team. We might have to fill him in after the game about how the Kettleers relate to it. As he waves through the 1-0 pitch, that evens the count up at 1-1.
He's got a nice blue bat, Carolina blue bat too. Not something you see often up in the Cape. Mostly black, tan, two color, but
the 1-1 pitch waved on and missed, and a pitch that was low and out of the zone. So Larson and the Anglers down to their final strike.
Yeah, red handle on the bat, white batting gloves. It's a good look.
Perko out of the windup, kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. That one above the letters, laid off for ball 2.
good waste pitch. It did say on the mile per hour there on the board that it was 64 miles an hour. I just don't think that's what it was.
The 2-2, this one hit on a line and gets over the leaping glove of Jaron Advincula. That ball floated, so it wasn't hit on a line, just floated in the air. Jaron Advincula gave it a leap, but that dunks down into right field, and this game continues.
110% effort from our ACC product, Jaron Advincula, and newly found All-Star as well. All-Star starter as well.
Sometimes you forget
Pac-12.
that. Yeah, sometimes you forget that Cal moving to the ACC, but
That's a good point.
Simply not an Atlantic Coast team.
now it's the 3-hole hitter and DH Ike Irish who looks at a first pitch strike. Irish today started off 2 for 2. Actually, it's not Ike Irish. It's the pinch hitter, Bryce. Roddy takes a big cut there and misses, and the count is 0-2, and once again, Chatham is down to its final strike.
62 miles an hour again. Just something's not right with this gun. Something's not right.
Larson leads off first. Perko kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. This one spoiled and hit right back into the netting.
Roddy out of North Greenville, another powerhouse Division II program out of the Coastal Carolinas Conference, I'm pretty sure. A team that always makes a run in regionals down in Division II baseball.
Perko kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. This one goes right through the wickets of Klein. Moving up to second is Larson. So Roddy stays alive. The count is 1-2 after the wild pitch from Lucas Perko. Roddy's still looking for his first base hit this summer. Has reached base. Does have an OPS of 250. As the 1-2 pitch hit right back again into the same spot right off the netting.
Roddy was a big part of that North Greenville team that had a lot of success. Hit above 300 in each of his first 3 seasons there. So incredibly productive.
A lot of D1 transfers from Clemson and anyone around that South Carolina area to North Greenville.
The 1-2 pitch on the inside corner. Taken for ball 2. Lucas Perko in the Kettleer dugout thought that was strike 3. But Roddy lays off, and it's called too far inside by the home plate umpire, Mike Hinojosa.
Have to wonder where that ended up.
The 2-2 pitch from Perko. A high looping foul ball that goes out of play. Becerra, the third baseman, gave it a run. That finds the seats.
Just a good battle here from Roddy, the Division II product.
7 pitches so far in this at-bat.
Some may call that a quab.
This is a great battle.
I am some.
Seen a lot of great battles tonight. Will Bermudez, an 11-pitch battle early on. The 2-2 to Roddy. Did he go around the appeal down? He did not go.
And
that pitch was
continue.
Battle's continuing to roll on. The pitch was high in the zone. Roddy checked his swing. But after the appeal, he did not go. So the count runs full here. Cotuit leads 11-4.
I don't know what Roberts just said, but everybody thought it was hilarious in the dugout. They're trying to keep it in right now. Will Thompson for sure.
The payoff pitch spoiled once again. Goes off the catcher's gear of Matt Klein and down the third base line. 9 pitches so far in this at-bat as Mike Roberts still continuing to go about that check swing.
Coach Roberts gets a warning. Could he make it 2 nights in a row that he gets tossed from a game? Big if true.
Perko takes a look back at the runner on second, deals the 3-2 pitch taken well high and outside. So Bryce Roddy works a walk, and Chatham has runners on first and second, still trailing by 7.
They were battling. It definitely was. I have a bias view over here as being a catch intern, but that definitely he went around. That's where you should pack it up and like congratulate the catch on a win.
It's always funny when they go to the umpire behind home plate. It's like how are you really able to tell if he went around or not?
Swing at the first pitch is Chayton Krause. Hits this one deep into center field. That'll hit off the top of the wall. One run comes in to score. That's Larson. On his tail is Roddy. The relay throw home from Advincula. The throw is in plenty of time, and they got him. Chayton Krause blasted that ball deep into left field, but an excellent relay throw by the Kettleers infield, and Jaron Advincula nails Bryce Roddy, trying to stretch it and be the sixth run of the game for the Chatham Anglers. But that'll do it from Veterans Field as Cotuit picks up win number 19 as they take down the Anglers 11-5. And that is win number 450 for Mike Roberts here on Cape Cod.
And only fitting that he's able to complete the 450th win against the team that his son played for back in the 90s and won a CCBL championship with the Anglers. So for Mike Roberts to complete this 450th Cape League win is absolutely incredible. And of course, in that kind of fashion too, with the seed from Max Ballou in center field, Advincula relays at home, and they had Bryce Roddy, it was, dead to rights at home plate. I mean, he slid in front of home plate, was tagged in the face by Matt Klein to complete the 19th win of this season.
It was just a great fundamental play from the Cats. And, the Cats love to play small ball. The Cats love to play old school baseball, and that's what we practice early on in the season. Those fundamental plays. I mean, you have to wonder why that Chatham third base coach sends him there, because he did end up sliding about 82 feet in front of the plate instead of 90 feet. But just like Joe said, just had him dead to rights. So win number 19, win number 450 for Coach Roberts. So I'll do it all again tomorrow against YD.
And Jimmy, you mentioned the Kettleers with some small ball, but tonight it was the long ball really impacting them in the victory. They blasted 3 home runs, one from Easton Winfield, one from Devin Taylor, and one from Brandon Compton, as that proved vital in the 11-5 victory.
Yeah, Brandon Compton taking it to deep center, but also Devin Taylor. But Easton Winfield, just as he did last night with an extra base hit in the first inning, a solo shot tonight in the first inning. So really getting things going, and the catalyst at the top of that order has been Easton Winfield these past 2 games. And to see the top of the order, the bottom of the order clicking from 1 through 9 is great to see, especially at this point in the season where, Jimmy, we've been sitting here in the past 2 summers where this team has hit their lowest point of the past 2 summers right around this point in the season. It seems like they are playing the best baseball that they have all year.
Yeah, playing their best baseball at the right time, Like Bourne last year. Bourne was playing their best baseball heading into the playoffs. That's a team that you didn't want to face, Just keep the steady course, keep winning baseball games, just keep tacking on, just keep stacking wins, going to the playoffs on a little bit of a run, and just keep it going. So the team you don't want to face in the playoffs is a team that's on a run, team they're playing their best baseball. So hopefully in these next few weeks we can see that playoff run extend a little bit past the first round, unlike our first 2 years.
And Joey Volchko got the ball for Cotuit today. Went 4 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, just 1 run, walked 3, and struck out 6 while tossing 96 pitches. And this is exactly what they needed. 2 excellent starts, one from Taylor C. yesterday and another good one today from Joey Volchko.
Well, it was long overdue. The Cotuit starters have really struggled in the past week or so before that, and they had to rely on 4 comeback victories. And so the offense, they're able to pick up some of that weaker starting pitching, but to be able to get some of that tonight and the last couple nights, and to keep the offense producing at the level that they have been, I mean, needless to say, it has been working because they haven't lost in over a week.
Yeah, Joey Volchko also hit 100, a TrackMan 100 tonight in his start. And is that the only 100 in the Cape? Is there more? We'll have to find out from our analytics guy, Will Marcourt, but we'll let him do the data and searching for that one.
And one final question here from Veterans Field. Of course, Cotuit, like you guys have mentioned, playing their best baseball, but tomorrow another tough test as the YD Red Sox come to Lowell Park. This is a team that just tied Falmouth tonight. They're now 17-9-2. Cotuit 19-9-1. But the last time Cotuit and YD squared off, it was an 8-8 tie.
Yeah, it was, and that's a YD lineup, Jimmy. We were talking about it. Could be the best in the league, and they'll have a lot of pitchers ready to go tomorrow and available for the game before the off day, so should be an exciting one, and to do it again at Lowell Park against the now second best team in the CCBL, best team in the East, and the best team in the West squaring off should be a good one.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. That YD lineup is definitely one of the best, but they did lose a big piece, that table setter Drew Burris. But for the Cats, they're gonna have that whole bullpen hot tomorrow. So honestly, you can throw a guy out every single inning and it'd be okay. But I mean, YD's also gonna have to play in a big boy park for once at this season. So we'll see what happens if they can still mash home runs at the rate they do.
But that'll do it from Veterans Field for my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt. For our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman. A special thanks to the two Jimmys, Jimmy Middleton and Jimmy Shantulis, for hopping on the broadcast. For our producer, Cam Christie, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Saturday evening with us. Cotuit victorious as they improved to 19-9-1 with the 11-5 victory over the Chatham Anglers. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Lowell Park as the Kettleers get set to square off against the YD Red Sox. And everyone, thank you so much for listening.